The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Welcome on in to another stream. Oh man, it's gonna be a good one, chat. We have so much nerd venging to do today. There's Doomsday stuff to talk about. There's X-Men stuff to talk about. There's DC stuff to talk about. There's Star Wars stuff to talk about, and I'm going to be fairly positive on all of it. What a world. What is happening? How do we get here? Amazing. Don't worry. I'll still take plenty of shots. I'll still be snarky as fuck. We'll still laugh at how badly Star Wars and DC have fucked up, but there is actually some really good stuff. It's kind of crazy. It was a big weekend for basically all of the big nerdy franchises that we cover over here. So pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to break it down, get into it with you all. It's gonna be a longer stream. Buckle up, get a snack, grab a juice box, maybe get some animal crackers. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking with my kids or whatever, but yeah, those are good snacks too. I like those. You could like those or whatever you like. It's fine. How you guys doing? What's up, chat? Did y'all miss me? Did you miss me? What is up, man? You grabbed a Reese's cup. Okay. Dude, also just wanted to say thanks to everybody that came on by the stream on Friday. It was a good one, man. I really had a fun time on that stream. A little bit longer than it needed to be, probably. But that's okay. And we did eventually get to some really dope Marvel stuff. Really fun stuff just overall. So thanks to everybody that popped on by for that stream. I had a relatively busy weekend. I was preoccupied Saturday because it was my son's birthday and we had a good time with the family. I was out of town on Sunday doing some super fun things. So yeah, I've been kind of checked out. You know, like Friday night was crazy. We did a little breakdown Saturday for the Doomsday trailer. But other than that, I have been not as active on social media. I haven't been as plugged in. I haven't been in the Discord as much. Just been doing some real life stuff. So, sorry. How you guys doing? How you guys doing, man? It's good to be back, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Because even on Friday, we didn't get to really, I think, fully absorb everything that was announced and how things are going. Friday was a pretty crazy night with a lot of different announcements. So how are you guys doing? Did you guys do anything fun over the weekend? Let me guess. DC Lanterns would have been great, except you hate James Gunn, so now you automatically hate. I mean, you shouldn't spoil my segment on that, but yeah. How's everybody else doing? I'm getting breakfast bagel sandwich right now. Ooh, that sounds kind of nice. What kind of bagel? What kind of bagels? I wanted to get the Pokemon donut from Krispy Kreme, but they're all sold out. They have Pokemon donuts at Krispy Kreme? That sounds awesome. I'm not a big donut guy, but that sounds kind of fun. And that might be a fun thing to do. Den of getting sweaty today. Oh, we're going to get sweaty, Kathleen Kennedy. We're going to get really sweaty. Zach says, I hope Liam enjoyed his birthday. Thanks, brother. Yeah, he had a great birthday, man. He was having a blast, and the family came out big, got a bunch of cool presents and stuff. Also, Zach, thank you for the gifted membership, brother. Rossi, thank you for the rose. And then Zach says, happy Monday, Nerd Vengers. I got to watch after work, but just wanted to say thank you, Josh, for streaming so late on Friday. The X-Men cast is hype. Yeah, I agree. I think the cast is really good. I'm excited to break that down and get into it today. But yeah, we had a good time Friday night. Did you have a good time? I had a good time. Thought it was fun. Super Nate, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers, baby. Welcome back. Ibsy says, 20 months, let's fucking go. Josh, I genuinely feel that the child in the Doomsday trailer mural is Victor himself. Also, hot take, but I think the X-Men are dog poop. And I hope the Avengers always F them up. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Here's what I'll say about that. Because it's not just that, but there are a couple of things that we're going to break down in the Doomsday trailer. And I think I have to do something that I absolutely hate to do, which is to admit that I could be wrong about a few things, okay? So just being 100%, I don't think it's Victor. I think it's the child, and I think it's his Sue Storm. But technically, I could be wrong. And it looks like, as we'll get into in a little bit here, it does look like there's some stuff in the Doomsday trailer that, at the very least, is confusing, and quite possibly suggests that they hit a lot of crazy stuff, even from people like me, the internet detective, really hardcore. So I'll just say I don't think so, but I guess it's possible. Chat, what do you think about the mural? Save the cheerleader, save the world. Yeah, that shit is wild, huh? That shit is wild. Obviously not the place for it here. We want to think about happy things and talk about happy things. But yeah, RIP, man, that's crazy. I'm crazy for thinking a good way to make Secret Wars Battleworld different than Endgame would also be to have an unlikely hero enemy team-ups. Hela and Thor, Iron Man and Thanos, Cap and Red Skull, Shuri and Namor. That's not a bad idea. I kind of like that. What do you guys think? Mom and young Victor based off hairstyles. Really? My wife, Mackenzie Dern, won, so I'm good with it. Okay, right on, man. Doom's wife and kid. Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's Doom's wife and kid. But yeah, you know, it's really interesting to see how people perceive these different things. And again, it's like, you know, I have my way of perceiving it, and I don't agree with some of the takes out there. But I've watched that one shot with Doom quite a bit, and it's like, dang, like, some people might be right about some things. Yeah, Hayden Panarelli, way too young. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think it's related to Mephisto having his mother's soul. Well, I mean, I don't want to spoil my segment, but I got some notes on that, and we'll go over it because I definitely connect it to something that happened in Multiverse of Madness, which I'll pull up on the screen for you guys and show you. So, Villian Murphy is Doom. So that's another one. That's another one of these takes that, like, I don't see it. I don't agree, guys. Like, you really think, to me, this is like Sadie Sink being Shothra level of stupid. But again, I'm trying not to, you know, it's too early. We're in a good mood. I don't need to be mean about it. Maybe you're right. Maybe they secretly hired Cillian Murphy and they paid Dr. Doom, or they paid RDJ $100 million to do a bait and switch. Yeah, maybe that's a thing. How do you feel about the take that Mjolnir knocks Doom out of the window? Yeah, we're gonna break that down in great detail because it kind of does look like that, but I can't make sense of it exactly. Josh, you can't be right about everything. You need to give other people a turn. Yeah, you know, I guess. Taking shots this early. I'm not taking no shots. I'm just saying that doesn't make any sense. Like at some like, come Come on, man. How can you really think that? Like, how can you really think that? Anyway, given that Dr. Doom went to see Franklin, what if the mural is Sue Storm and Franklin Richards, and he had that take away from him due to his time heist? I kind of think you might be onto something there, but yeah. At the end of Endgame, Steve leaves with the hammer, but does not come back with it. Any theories about the hammer? Because people be talking about the shield he brings back and not the hammer. Well, I think the conventional explanation is that he just placed the hammer back in the timeline where it came from. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Sir Olivio says, do you remember the rumors about Dr. Doom / Planet Doom ship being an entire planet? I feel like that disappeared. No, I definitely remember those. The problem with those rumors is they came from James Mack or Majestic. And for some reason, you guys still like retweet or bring up like stuff that James Mack has talked about. And like, I think Majestic's finally gone, you know, thank God. But yeah, I remember those rumors. There was a time where we thought that James Mack and Majestic were actually onto something. And some of the stuff they reported could still be real. But unfortunately, everything that they talk about that other people aren't talking about, we kind of need to discard or at least put into a lower level of category of confidence on. You know what I mean? Season 1 of Loki, remember, he told the TVA he could smell the cologne of 2 Tony Starks from a mile away. Does that line Coke back into play? I think you mean come back into play. Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, maybe. Darth Saber says, I just want to say the villain from No Country for Old Men is god tier Doctor Doom casting. Yeah, Javier Bardem, I believe, right? James Mack, more like James Hack. Yeah, no, literally. I get so irritated. People just like keep sharing his stuff. Although, look, you know, one thing we should say, and some people were giving me shit about this on Twitter, I should kind of apologize to Apocalyptic Horseshit. Okay? So Apocalyptic Horseshit is an account that has gotten some things right and then got some stuff wrong that I was really fucking mad about. Okay? However, now that we know that Adam Driver is indeed Mr. Sinister, then technically Apocalyptic Horseshit was right about that. I don't know, man. For some reason, like Daniel RPK keeps and Alex Perez keep trying to say like, don't like believe how Apocalyptic. This scooping cabal. I'm just not sure about you all. Okay, let me just be honest. I look at your behavior. I look at the circles you run in. I look at the way you report things, the way you try to obfuscate and hide the truth that other people report. I don't like it. You guys are being kind of weird. And to be honest, you've always been kind of weird. Stop it. Stop being so weird. You're so weird. Why are you so weird? You're so weird, dude. You're weird. You're a bunch of weirdos. Knock it off. Okay, anyways, Warhammer sucks. Hey, Star Wars Sith, it's good to see you. Thank you for reminding me about the Warhammer news that we must now divert and spend at least a half hour on. So thank you, Tony. Listen, Linda, over the weekend, we witnessed history. And I know some of you guys didn't know about this, so I'm happy to be able to bring it to you now so that you do know about it, okay? Over the weekend, the United States of America took home the World Team Championship. Yes, a massive Warhammer tournament. France had won it 2 years in a row. The United States hadn't won it since 2018. The United States won the Team World Championship of Warhammer this Sunday. Yesterday, I watched it live while I was at the gym. It was amazing. Congratulations to all the boys bringing it home for the US of A and shaking up the Warhammer world. Absolutely incredible. You should go check out the streams of some of those games. You should all get into Warhammer. You should all start to recognize how important Warhammer is and how dope it is. God damn it, chat. Come on! Come on! Still holding out for Page Apocalypse. Page Apocalypse. What the hell? What the hell is even that? Rossi says your rant on Heather from Friday might be my favorite. Yeah, I think I had just downed a bottle of mead. And somebody asked me about Heather and we let it rip. You know, we let it rip. Occasionally, you'll get something good out of me. Occasionally, I'll have a nice little segment. Look at all these people that are like, dude, that's so incredible. Please tell me more about Warhammer. Okay, I will. Thank you, chat. Because you guys are obviously so interested and everybody in chat seems to want to know more. Let me just take a couple more minutes of your time. Apologize. Look, I'm just saying, like, it was honestly really, really cool. It was cool, and I'm happy. I'm actually jonesing for some Warhammer. I think I'm gonna play Warhammer tonight with a buddy of mine. Warhammer Wednesday this week. We're back. Warhammer Wednesdays are back. This Wednesday night, we're gonna talk more about the game. We're gonna talk more about Henry Cavill being Constantine Valdor because there's a big viral video going around about that. So if you're a Warhammer fan, you're Warhammer curious, dude, come on by Wednesday night, baby. Come on by, baby. All right, fine. Fine. No more Warhammer chat. Jesus. And there goes 100 people from chat. Yeah, probably. Hey, look. You know what? Honestly, it's a you problem, guys. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. You know, we're trying to, you know, we're having a good time. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff here. It's a fucking you problem. Okay? Just because you don't see the light, the glory of the God Emperor of mankind, you don't understand how dope it is that there's eternal war. Abandon reason. Know only war. Come on. The violence. The religious overtones. The xenophobia. The tyranny, the pain. The brutality. Don't we all know that's what we need in our lives? Come on! All this soft serve bullshit. Anyway, Warhammer is always going to be the topic for the Nerdventure stream now. Yes, absolutely. Hope you're doing great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Okay, I actually want to talk about lanterns first. With what army? I actually don't know. I kind of want to play Dark Angels. It's between Dark Angels and Custodes. Both of my armies actually performed really well over the weekend at the World Team Championships, and so I'm like, I gotta step up my game. Nice shirt. Both surfers in Secret Wars? Yes, that's what I heard, and they're toying around with a graphic sex scene between them two, which I'm like, I don't know if we necessarily need that. Do I want to see it? Yes. Do we need it? Probably not, you know? So yeah, that's a thing. I love Warhammer. I love figures and painting. I can't get behind board games. I think that's what turns off a lot of people. That's probably true, Sir Olivia. But again, it's their problem. Because tabletop games and board games are incredible. They're good for your brain. They're good for the soul. They help you become a better general, just in case we actually have to flip this shit on the aliens and go out and conquer the stars. Just something to think about. Josh, Reed screams, did you do this because Doom ate the lasagna he was saving? I heard it was because he ripped a nasty fart, dude. Like one that cleaned out a whole theater of people trying to watch Spider-Man. Like that level. Like he ripped ass. And Reed's like, did you do this, Victor? And Victor's like, he who smelt it, dealt it. Reed! Crazy, I know. Did you guys watch Lanterns? Just out of curiosity, put a 1 into the chat if you watched Lanterns. And also, what did you think about it? We'll hang a little bit, and then I'm going to get into the segment, man, because I want to talk about Lanterns. I can't believe I want to gush about Lanterns. Those sick fucks. Tom King, you sick fuck. Damon Lindelof, you dirty hooker. And yet I love it. Fuck! How did this happen? Daredevil Moggs Doom. That's a good name, dude. Thoughts on Jensen Ackles, rumored to play Magneto? I don't really see it, to be honest. Great actor, though. Yeah, I don't really see it. I love Jensen, though. I think he's amazing. I'd love to have him in the MCU. I don't know if that's the right role for him, though. You know? But we'd be happy to have him in the MCU, for sure. For sure. It was solid for the first episode. What the hell? What the hell? I meant to say Lanterns isn't terrible. Okay, there you go. They understood the Lanterns in the trailer. I feel like they played with our emotions. Yeah, I think they played with our emotions too. Hey, Pavik! Thanks for the $2 holler. Guys, Pavik is one of our new editors. He is an awesome dude. He's been digging into the Den of Nerds lore. He actually found some videos that some of you crazy animals made. Like some, like, this is the experience of watching a Den of Nerds screaming, like some fun shit like that. So, what up? Give a little love to Pavik, man. He's doing a good job. He's doing good. Corey says you can't spell lanterns without Heather. Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure you can. But thanks, bud. Thank you. True Detective vibes for lanterns. Yeah, there's some True Detective vibes in there. Let me ask you this before I give you my thoughts, guys. What did you guys think of lanterns? Did you like it? Did you not like it? And obviously, we're going to have to get into spoilers about Hal Jordan. I mean, we talked about this like a year ago, you know what I mean? But also, it's real now, I guess. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. And I want to know what you guys think, man. Campia was told that it's Heather in the mural. Amazing. Incredible. Thanks for that. And fuck you. And fuck you, Campia. Yes. Didn't even watch it? Didn't watch? It was incredible. I skipped it just like the Darth Maul show. You motherfuckers. Loved it, liked it, mid, 6.5 so far, slow, gas. Wow, it's all over the place, huh? People are all over the place. Rossi says, Josh, you silly guy. Reed asked him if he did this because all the Avengers are trying to kill Heather and she saves herself again because of Heather. Man, I'm going to ban fucking Heather in the chat, man. I don't know. Like, the blood pressure, it's not good. You know, it's probably not good for my soul, man. Marvel, did you know this when you made this character? Did you do this specifically? Did you do this on purpose, Kevin? Are you trying to fuck with me? You trying to bring me down? Okay, so people seem to be a little conflicted. People seem a little conflicted on the Lantern show. Okay, let me take a couple sips of coffee and then I'm going to talk about the Lantern show. Can I say screw Heather? You can say almost anything here, brother. You know what I mean? You know, this is a safe space. You basically can say anything except that you don't like Warhammer or, you know, whatever. Hang on a second, chat. Do my eyes deceive me? Let me reread this. Corey Battles Vox says, what if instead of your finger in the ring for powers, it's your finger in Heather? We'll just leave that one. Move right along. Dirty Nap says, would you do a mall watch party if everyone in the chat got into Warhammer? 100%. That's what it costs. That's what it's going to cost. And then you guys are going to get transported to the Soul Realm with Thanos or Gamora or some shit. She's going to be like, what did it cost you? And you're going to be like, way too much. Warhammer's like way more expensive. Josh didn't worry about this. And if you make that sacrifice, then I'll watch Darth Maul. And then I'll watch it. Thank you, Dirty. Sir Olivia says, I said it on Friday. Stop reacting to Heather and it will die, bro. Oh, my God. I mean, you're probably right. I'll try it out. New endgame scene, as Tony says, I am. The screen cuts out. All of a sudden, it's Doom, and he finishes like Doom, and then spine rips Thanos instead of snapping. Well, that would be sick. I would also tell you guys, some of these edits I've seen from the Doomsday trailer are incredible. Y'all been seeing these ones where they take like the comic art or like the art that kind of looks like the comics, and they superimpose it on the different parts of the Doomsday trailer. I'm loving these edits, man. And like that shit matters. Like they didn't, you know, nobody's doing like crazy edits when we were going through like Quantumania and the Marvels and all that. You know, people are like, why aren't the Marvels in Doomsday? It's because nobody gives a fuck. But with these characters and with Doomsday, people are so excited. You're getting like these edits are cool. Like I'm telling you, the vibe is strong right now. The vibe is strong for Marvel. 21 months. The real Dar Boyd says, let's fucking go. Audiences aren't ready for the twist where Lady Muse is the key to everything. She better not be. Heather is a Feige psyop against Josh. Yeah, probably. And which one of you are Feige or working for Feige in here doing all the super chats for it? Freaking buttholes. Number one, Josh Slurper. Interesting name. Says, I got my tickets for Thursday, December 17th, 11 a.m. Earliest showing, perfectly centered Dolby. Let's fucking go. Tomorrow we'll get Dune for the same day. Missed the other super chat, by the way. Oh, did I? Sorry, bud. I sorry, buddy. Let me find it. Let me find it for you real quick here. What the hell? I don't see it, brother. Was it way early on? Oh, here we go. 26th of today. Happy birthday, brother. All of your 100% correct takes and Marvel going off has made this month such a great one. Thanks, Yosh. Oh, appreciate it, man. You know, I actually know a guy named Yosh. He plays Magic the Gathering at the spot me and my buddy been going to. His name's literally Yosh. And super cool guy, man. Super cool guy. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Josh, what do you think could turn DC around after Superman 2? You know, that's a good question. Lanterns, I really enjoy Lanterns, but it also doesn't really feel like it's in the DCU. You know, I also really appreciate the lack of James Gunn just in general. Like, his goofy ass self has not been in a lot of the promos and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So Lanterns feels like a real breath of fresh air in some ways. And I know, like, you know, there's controversy, of course. We'll get into it. Man, I just don't know. Like, for me personally, it's weird because I did love Superman when I watched it. I had a good time at the theater, but I feel like no desire to rewatch it. I damn sure don't feel like watching any of the other shit. It doesn't really feel like a shared universe. It feels small. It feels like James Gunn's band of misfit toys. I feel like the saturation of all these goofy-ass C-tier, third-rate characters is a bad look. I don't know what could turn it around, honestly. I mean, I guess what I would say is, like, if Man of Tomorrow is one of the most banger of banger movies, if what they do with Brainiac is something generational, and they fill in some things, you know, make it feel real, I mean, I guess that would be great. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't really have a lot of hope in the overall DCU at this point. I mean, do you guys? Do you think it's still happening? I think at this point, wouldn't you see more projects being greenlit? A bunch of this stuff is being canceled. There's no announcement of Gunn's contract being extended, and it's up next year. I mean, what do you guys think, man? William says, with a $10 holla, thank you very much, says, I'll say this, they killed Hal. They knew they were going to, no shock. If they're doing something cool with it like Parallax, I'll be in. If not, and they killed him for no reason, I'll feel disrespected. Yeah, I actually agree with that, and we're going to go over how there is some evidence that they will do the Parallax thing, which I think is pretty cool. My name is Yosh. Really interesting. Nick's Tape FC says, Jimmy Olsen will take the DCU to new heights. Yeah, you know what's funny is, like, when the Jimmy Olsen show was first announced, I was actually kind of high on it. People were like, not. People thought it was so goofy and silly. The thing is, Jimmy Olsen, there's a real if you're a big sweaty comic book nerd, then you understand that when Jack Kirby goes to DC, he leaves Marvel, he goes to DC, they offered him any book. But Jack Kirby, salt of the earth, incredible human being. He said, I will not take any of these books because I don't want to take anybody's job. Give me your lowest selling book or your least popular character. I figured exactly how it was phrased. And so that's where he goes and does the Jimmy Olsen book. And because he's Jack King fucking Kirby, he puts a lot of dope stuff in that book, man. Really does some great work, which leads into his fourth world and stuff. So I saw an opportunity when the thing was first announced where I'm like, you know, it's kind of interesting. If they bring in that flavor that Jack brought into that book, you could cook. And you absolutely could. But I think that, like, Gunn's kind of run out of goodwill and run out of runway in some ways because, dude, like, the sentiment's just flipped. People are clowning on Jimmy Olsen because we're getting, like, the X-Men cast. We're talking about Doctor Doom. You know, we're talking about really hype shit. The Spider-Man movie's popping. And then you're talking about Jimmy Olsen, like, brother, it's just not going to work. Like, I feel like what we thought was a benefit for Gunn, which was his affinity for comics, might literally be working against that entire universe because his particular affinity with comics although authentic, is also like very subjectively driven. Like, he loves all these obscure things, and he's been reading the books for so many. He really is that back of the comic book shop guy that's like gonna be pedantic and correct you on everything, and he knows all these deep cut things. That's just who he is. And you look at those old Facebook posts where he's shitting on Christopher Nolan's Batman, and you just realize, like, oh no, he is that guy. He's that pedantic back of the comic shop kind of guy. And I don't know that that's working. I don't think that's resonating with people. So I actually feel like Jimmy Olsen could be good, but maybe nobody's going to give a fuck, you know? Josh Claps Heather, what an incredible name, says, when Doom jumps, does he get hit by Mjolnir in the new trailer? That's the question, and don't worry, we're going to get there. All right, we better shut the fuck up and start talking. Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, it's not working. It's currently absolutely subjectively not working. I guess we'll kind of wait and see what's up with Mana tomorrow. But yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say it's not working. Okay, chat. Yo, people are saying that Henry Cavill is the new Magneto. I did see that, and of course, I'm a big Henry Cavill fan. You know what I mean? Love Henry Cavill. But that's not really coming from a reliable source, man. I just don't know what else to tell you. It's literally just one of those rumors that picked up speed, and people are running with it. It comes from like some new rando account, and until somebody else established confirms it, it's a nothing burger, you know? It's a nothing burger. But I would like it. I think he would be good as Magneto. What do you guys think? Connor says, could Doom be dreamwalking in Act 1, and then the real one shows up in Act 2 and 3, played by RDJ, though? Yeah, there definitely could be something there, man. We are certainly going to get into that. The script leaked. What script? What script leaked? Yeah, from apocalyptic horseshit? Or from new X-Men scooper, I don't know shit, at me RS whatever? No new scoopers. No new scoopers. Yeah, what script? Please stop talking about the script. What script? The Doomsday script leaked months ago? I mean, yeah, we've known about the plot. Well, just send it to me. DM it to me. DM it to me. All right, let's talk about Lanterns, man. So, the Lanterns show, it had its first episode last night on HBO Max. I think it's also on HBO. I'm actually not 100% sure. But this has been a highly anticipated comic book show, and for some people, it's been a highly anticipated time to shit all over DC once again. And I mean that. Like, there's like an actual large contingent of fans, whether they're comic fans or they're jaded DC fans or they're Snyder bros. A lot of people just kind of, here comes the new DC thing, let's shit on it. So, a lot of questions as far as how this would resonate with people, how it would connect with audiences. I watched it last night, and I just got to tell you, I think it's pretty fucking good. I think it's pretty good. I was enamored. I was enthralled. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed the show. And of course, it ends, spoiler warning here, with an incredibly controversial reveal that Hal Jordan is dead, which we knew about. We knew about that for a long, long time, actually. Wasn't ever 100% sure. You know, rumors, speculation, insiders. We don't always know for sure, but that was something we pretty much knew about for over a year. Was that Hal Jordan would die? Now, I just want to talk about why I think this show is great, but, and it's a big old but. It's a Kaylee Spaney sized but that we're going to have to get into. Huge asterisks when it comes to the Lantern show. So first of all, I think the production of this show was great. I thought that the way it was shot, the mood, you know, there's this expression, the mise en scène, the feel of the scene, it's verisimilitude, you know, is it true to its own world? This thing was really great in that regard. It really like brings you into the world. And I loved it, man. You know, the stuff with John, the stuff with his dad, the way that connects to the lessons with Hal, the whole thing, the background of Green Lantern through the news and all that. I really, really dug it. I thought that it was well shot. I thought it was incredibly well acted. I thought the writing was really, really good and nuanced. It's definitely got that Damon Lindelof thing where, you know, he's a very subversive writer and he likes to toy with audience expectations, a little bit a la like Rian Johnson. But I've always thought that Lindelof has done a pretty damn good job at that sort of stuff. You know, that Watchmen show that he did years ago, very controversial show. And I literally went from absolutely fucking hating that show to really liking it by the end. And I thought Jeremy Irons' turn as Ozymandias was incredible. I liked the stuff they did with Dr. Manhattan and all that. So Lindelof, to me, I always liked the guy, but you got to kind of take his stuff with like a grain of salt or a shot of penicillin, because like it's sometimes radioactive, the way that he will play with what he knows you expect as a fan. Tom King, by the way, also similar. You know, so it's really no wonder that they get these two animals together and they cook up something that is really tasty and then kind of bittersweet. Makes you want to spit it out. I love the performances and the characterizations here. I really like Hal Jordan. I thought he was incredible. I don't know what you guys thought. I really, really like Hal Jordan in this, but I expected to like Hal Jordan in this. Hal Jordan's a great character. There's a reason people love this guy. There's a reason he's been around for so long. There's a reason that all the fans that now watch him be murdered are really fucking pissed. This dude has some serious cachet. So I loved Hal Jordan. There's more of a sigh of relief than blown away at that, because I expected to like Hal Jordan, and Kyle Chandler's great. So he killed it in that role. But you know what I didn't expect is how much I loved Jon Stewart. Holy shit, man. They really did a great job. I thought his performance was on point. It's so reserved, and yet there's like this really interesting emotion that he's able to kind of have there right beneath the surface. Very compelling, interesting guy. Complex in a way I didn't expect. I love what they did with Jon Stewart, man. Like, wow, like really blown away at the characterization of both men. I love the female detective too. She's great. And the way this plot is done, man, like I just really fucking dig it. I don't know. It almost feels like it was just made for my exact taste, because the attitude towards, you know, aliens and the sort of fear of how aliens could be just living among us and stuff like that. I thought it was handled really well. The subtleties of that, even some of the way that like the sheriff speaks about it, I was like, wow, that's really interesting. The interrogation scene, really, really interesting. The use of the powers, although I definitely didn't get enough green. It still needs a lot more green. I'm going to need more green. But I think there's more green coming. But the way that the powers were used, pretty cool. You know, Hal did some pretty fun constructs, had a lot of fun with the ring. It's really, really fun, okay? So I like this first episode. But, and here comes the but, right? Here comes the but. I really like the show, but it should be an Elseworld. It doesn't belong in a cinematic universe. And even the way they're trying to connect it to the cinematic universe, which it's a little bit interesting. Like, we'll get into some of the stuff, because apparently Guy Gardner does have Hal's ring. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that. But this should not be connected to any universe, because every part of it that is connected to the shared universe brings the show down. It literally brings it down. Because it becomes confined. It becomes confined instead of liberated. It doesn't even feel like it's in the DCU. And it shouldn't be in the DCU. This should be something that should be allowed to exist as an Elseworld, completely disconnected from Gunn's cinematic universe, from any other cinematic universe, because it feels like a really Elseworldy take. Like, to me, I was loving this. But like, as a comic book reader, I could just feel that this would be like some new Elseworld take on Green Lantern or something like that. And if I were reading it or watching it through that lens, perfect. Because it can also do almost any goddamn thing. And even though I think the show's going to do some cool things, it's going to do some fun mystery, you know, box kind of stuff. The fact that I know that all has to lead to like a goofy ass Guy Gardner and goofy ass Superman, and then it does nothing for me. It actually hurts my experience of watching it, and I think it confines what the show could do, because the show could do. Like, the show could do some fun comic book shit, but the show could do stuff that's beyond anything we've ever seen in the comics. But we know that it won't be able to do that because it has to arrive at a place where it fits into a canon of a universe that has a, you know, like all of these different things. And so that's just personally what I feel. I feel as though it's a great show, but it's hurt, not helped, by its connection to the DCU, and I think it should just be allowed to be an Elseworld, mostly because I think that James Gunn's DCU is going to be canceled soon, and I actually really like this show, and I think it should exist beyond James Gunn's universe. So that's my take on Lanterns. I do actually want to do another segment about Lanterns. So I want to talk to you about Parallax. I want to talk to you about the thing with the ring. I want to talk to you about why Hal might actually come back to life. I believe some of the press has seen the whole show. And I do think people are suggesting that fans that are currently upset might not be as upset as we continue into the show, which is nice. That's cool. Like, I think I know where that's going, but we'll save that for like a little theory thing where we're going to like break it down. So chat, what do you guys think? What do you think about the show? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you disagree with my take? Do you think it should be connected to the universe or not? What do you think? The Lantern episode was only good since wait, what? Soups was unanimously loved, but not as one of them. Cornswood is great, but they should definitely cancel it. You're right, Josh. Thank you so much, D Murdoch. I appreciate it. Josh, the metal song has been stuck in my head since D23. Thanks, butthole. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Lantern slaps. There is not an object argument to make against that. Oh, some people just might not vibe with it or whatever, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. My name is Doom. Apparently the fans who are upset never read the Parallax stuff. Well, maybe, or maybe they've also just watched Hollywood fuck this shit up for like the past 5 to 10 years. And so maybe it's not so much that they haven't read this one particular comic that could explain what's happening. Maybe it's more like, oh, well, we all watched The Last Jedi. Like, we've pretty much just been watching Hollywood say, like, yeah, no, I know you like that, but we'll take it from here. And we have seen a lot of examples of them subverting expectations for the sake of subverting them and not actually following through on the comic book promises. So I think it's a little bit of both. Corey Battles Vox says, Hal was by far my favorite Lantern. I don't understand killing him off for the plot. I'm not even watching it anymore. Heather for life. There are a lot of really upset fans about it. And I get that. I also think that fans would be less upset if it was an Elseworld. If it was just explained that this is an Elseworld Green Lantern tale, I think those concerns go away, right? Because some of the reasons people are mad about that is like, this dude's 60 years old. We clearly haven't seen him in any of the other DC stuff that's in the future from where this story takes place. So chances are he's not around. And it's like, I just think all of that just hurts it. Like, that just hurts the show. You know what I mean? Like, this show, to me, so far, and we're only one episode in, but like, this show is good. Like, this show's enthralling. This show has something going on. It's got a certain pizzazz. It's got a certain oomph that I don't think even a lot of the Marvel shows have. Like, basically zero of the Marvel shows have this. This is a nice, like, this would be a show where, like, if you're a Green Lantern fan, in the same way that people like certain Batman runs, or like the animated Batman show, or the the Adam West thing or whatever, like, this feels like it should be its own thing that's in a catalog of all kinds of things when it comes to Green Lantern. And if you're a big Green Lantern fan, it feels like this is a thing you should be able to pull for and enjoy forever. And in that sense, I think it exists better if it's just contained. That's what I think. We love your take. It's amazing. And you make great content, says Mike Chesser, 6809. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I love how much chat is agreeing. And if you're watching this clip right now, you're just gonna have to take my word for it, because I know you can't see chat on screen, but chat is just like unanimously agreeing with me. I've never had this experience before. It's totally crazy. So if you're watching the clip, definitely don't go double check that. But also, it's amazing how many people are agreeing with me right now. It's pretty crazy. The production and acting is solid, and I liked most of what I saw, but I just don't know what it'll do for me. Yeah, let's keep watching. Let's find out what it'll do for you, and let's also hope that they disconnect it from the DCU so that it doesn't have to go away after James Gunn cleans out his office at the end of the theatrical run of Man of Tomorrow. I think it all fits. The space cops doing detective work in a small town, alien invasion. It's supposed to look and feel differently. It does look and feel differently, but it just doesn't fit, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's cool that you think so. To me, it's like not even close. Like, there's zero way I can connect these two universes. Like, no fucking way. Josh is right. On the odd chance they don't do Parallax, we're safe from the stain. Yeah, if it were Elseworld. Yeah, if it were Elseworld. Tom King said that Guy Gardner, Lantern, is connective tissue for the whole DCU. Thoughts? You're talking about the goofy ass, do you have a harem? James Gunn version of Guy Gardner that is the connective tissue to that entire universe? Wow. Amazing. Red Eye Jedi with a $10 haul. Appreciate it. It says, hey, Josh, love the Guts Berserk figure on the desk. What's your favorite Berserk story arc aside from the Eclipse event? And just recently finished reading the deluxe editions 1 to 9. What's the child, the one that's like kind of Griffith? What's it? I think it's called the Star Child or something like that. I like some of that crazy shit that they did. But it gets certainly weird. Berserk is so cool, but it's so dark and twisted. Glad you like the statue, though. Why is Gunn, not Batman or Flash, the connecting character? I don't know. It's a good question. Doom would clean up in 40K, would walk right up to the warp and punch Tzeentch in the beak. Yeah, he might, but then what's he going to do when God Emperor gets off the throne and bitch slaps him back to the Marvelverse? I mean, we'll see. I think Dr. Doom is very strong, but I don't know. He would struggle in 40K at some point, I think. Did you see the Warhammer figures that were posted in the Discord? No, but they better not be like some goofy ass shit where you put Heather's face on some Warhammer shit. I'm going to lose it if that's the case. The aliens are the Manhunters, so I think we will get John Johns. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. I would like that. Eric Nikolai, thank you for the $5 hollow, but you didn't put a message in there. Eric, there's no message in there. All right, so let's end this segment here, and let's do another segment about Green Lantern. I can't believe it, but we got to talk about Parallax. Okay, so Hal Jordan was just killed unceremoniously in the first episode of Lanterns, and fans are pissed. There's a lot of people really upset about it, and I get it, because Hal Jordan's awesome. I kind of can't believe they're doing this. However, as some folks are beginning to notice, there's more than meets the eye when it comes to this whole damn thing with Hal Jordan, with John Stewart, and with Guy Gardner. So I need to bring this up. Oh, what the hell? I swear to God. Oh man, I thought I bookmarked it. Hang on now. I swear to God, I thought I had this bookmarked. Oh, fuck. What the fuck? I guess we'll just have to end the segment. No, it has to do with the ring, man. So apparently, Damon Lindelof did say that the ring that Guy Gardner has is given, or is taken rather, from Hal Jordan. That is Hal Jordan's ring. The thing about that is, when you see the ring in the Lantern show, it has this golden or yellowish kind of a marking on it. Okay? And in DC Comics, there started to be a thing where some yellow started to kind of seep into the ring or become noticeable on the ring. It was one of the telltale signs of Hal Jordan's fall and his corruption from the entity known as Parallax. Now, there is a whole damn thing to this in Marvel Comics. Let me pull this up for you guys so you can peek at this ring here. So that's the ring, okay? But when you see this ring in the Superman movie, all that gold and all that yellow is gone. Okay? And so, again, people are looking at the comic book precedents for this, and they're like, oh shit, that could be a hint that they're actually going to do Parallax and basically bring Hal Jordan back to life, and perhaps he will be possessed by the entity known as Parallax, and so he'll be using like yellow energy to make constructs, which I think is pretty crazy. Now, there's actually a couple of different hints at this, okay? So, number one, when we see the hologram in episode 1, it hasn't been resynced for over 10 years. So essentially, at one point, Hal Jordan just stops doing what he's supposed to do, which is upload his consciousness every week to the ring in case something happens. And that's like stated by the Guardians, okay? We also know, of course, he stops wearing his costume. But one of the things that I think is a subtle hint in episode 1 as well is when the sheriff tells John that Hal is not fearless. Okay, now follow me on this, because the show establishes that she's really smart. She's really intuitive. The thing that John thought he was bringing to her attention at the football field, she already knew about. She was continuously shown as being pretty fucking good at her job. She's got good instincts and she can read people well. That's a part of the job. Okay, so she's established already as somebody that can figure shit out. And there's a part in the first episode where she tells, which she's like, who is, I can't believe people respect this guy or idolize this guy, right? And, or she's talking about how difficult it would be to be trained by somebody you didn't respect. And John's like, I do respect him. And says he's fearless. And she's like, he's not fearless, he's just lonely. He doesn't care about anything. And I think you start to put all of those things together, and Hal has clearly gone off the rails a bit. He hasn't uploaded his consciousness in 10 years. And the ring has gold shit on it. And the sheriff's hinting that he's not fearless. John says he used to be a lot nicer 10 years ago. And the Hal Jordan of 10 years ago was probably absolutely fearless in a way that maybe this new version of Hal Jordan is not. So I think there's a lot of subtle hints here that Hal has been corrupted, and they're going to do some Parallax shit. And potentially bring him back by the end of the show. And we also know Sinestro is supposed to be in this. There were some rumors that maybe even Atrocitus might be involved in this thing. And now we might be getting into stuff with the Black Hand and stuff with Necron and the Black Lantern Corps and Darkest Night. And it just seems like they might be setting up some really, really crazy shit in this show. And so I know a lot of fans are butthurt about the Hal Jordan thing and him dying, but again, there's just like a lot of evidence starting to mount that he will likely return, and potentially return as Parallax, and potentially be hopefully more than just a plot device in this show that's never brought up again. Like, I guess what I'm saying is this, we just did this whole segment about Lanterns before this, and I like the show, but I think it should be Elseworld, because I don't think it's really benefiting from being connected to the DCU. However, one way they could make that happen is to actually have this be very meaningful to the DCU. If we actually go in a scenario where Hal Jordan fucking kills the Guardians and wipes out Oa, and like he's a bad, like a all-on bad guy, and then we have Lantern Wars, or we have a version of Sinestro Corp Wars, or we have a version of Blackest Night or something, like if that actually happens, if that's in a movie or if that's like a big show or something, like dude, then hell yeah, I'm about it. But for now, like I don't know. Again, I kind of think that's not going to happen. And so instead of turning this into like a fucking post-credit scene that lingers for 6 years indefinitely, I'd actually prefer if we just had 5 to 8 seasons of Lanterns. What if Lanterns became so popular, so successful that they could start spending even more money on it, and then they do a fucking Lantern War? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. And then you don't need to worry about how that connects to the DCU. Just do it. Just do it. It would be amazing. So, chat, there you go. This is why people are saying, and by the way, this was confirmed by Damon Lindelof. Lindelof said in a recent interview that friggin' Guy Gardner absolutely has Hal Jordan's ring. And you're going to have to watch the show to find out why he gets Hal Jordan's ring. And when you see that ring, that's Hal Jordan's ring in the Superman movie, it does not have the gold, yellow, like, stuff that this ring has right now, and it kind of suggests that they could be doing some parallax stuff with Hal Jordan. So with all that said, chat, what do you guys think? You think they're definitely doing that? Do you agree that it should be Elseworld so they can just do it on their own? Let me know, man. Isn't there a clip of Hal talking to Sinestro in a trailer or something? There is. It was one of the promotionals that maybe came out last year. Yeah. Kind of seems like it might be a flashback, though. Why doesn't John have the ring if John's being trained as the next Lantern? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I guess they'll explore that in the show as well, huh? We need more with the grandma? Yeah. Look, I thought that shit was, like, amazing. Like, I don't know, like it positions John as like somebody that can definitely like bag a hot broad at a bar, and he's open to it, which is certainly like a dude bro kind of like hell yeah, like wink wink and cheers kind of thing. But it technically also means he's vulnerable, because it feels like that was some kind of play. Like those people, the wife and husband guy or whatever, like that, like basically he fucked up. And I love that kind of writing. It's something that Lindelof does really, really well, where, on the surface level, you're like, oh, hell yeah. Like he just fucked a hot ass grandma in the parking lot. That's awesome. And then you sort of start, she wasn't hot. Oh my God. You can't, she's a hot grandma. What the fuck? Anyway. She was hot. It also like makes you think though, he got played. He just fucked up. He's actually not as smart as he thinks. He's actually not as put together as he thinks, because he just got played. And I like that kind of writing because it's layered. It makes you think about it. You got to sit with it for a little bit. And I think it's cool. Josh can pop up random in DCU like Captain Marvel in MCU. John can? Okay. Darth Diabetes says, watched Age of Ultron and Infinity War with my buddies over the weekend, and man, Age of Ultron is an underrated movie. Love the streams as always. I agree, actually. I think Age of Ultron is really underrated. Some of that oddly has to do with Joss Whedon himself. Joss Whedon was kind of like down on that movie a little bit. I know he had a terrible experience. He broke his leg trying to like save an actor. I think he like broke his back trying to save an actor a little bit. He was at one time had like hypertension. He's in a cast being wheeled around the set. So I think the experience wasn't the best for him. And there's something about how he talked about that movie, because again, he was a little bit down on it, that I think set the table for that. But in recent, in like the last 5 years, he's come out to say he was maybe a little too hard on himself, even with that movie, and he's a little bit more proud of it than he thought. So, just watched it last night. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's cool. We should get Sinestro Corps and Parallax. Seeing different colors would be pretty cool. Oh, I agree. I think that would be pretty cool. They messed up Ultron? I don't think so. I like the MCU Ultron. I don't agree. I don't agree. You guys really don't think that grandma was hot? Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't like the MCU Ultron. I get it. I put that together with the way you said it before. You got to get some. I put it on some mac and cheese and it was dang good. What the fuck are we talking about? What is going on right now? I just Googled the actress for grandma. She isn't hot. Oh, yeah, your Google search? Your Google search just convinced my eyeballs that they don't know a hot-ass grandma when I see one? Is the grandma a witch or a vampire alien or something and looks young? Yes. 100%. That's exactly what it is. Show's going to take a real weird turn, huh? I think the grandma is an alien. Maybe. Wouldn't that be wild? Wouldn't that be wild? Give me Superboy Prime versus the Green Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns of the Justice League if they're real. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, don't you get what I'm like? Look, guys, you guys are crazy. This shit should be an Elseworld because it should have free license to do all of that shit and not have to worry about how like weird ass James Gunn wants to tie that into his next cast of goofy ass C-rate characters. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, please, no. Like, let this thing just be dope and do dope shit and not have to interface with the goon. Like, I'm telling you, it'd be better for everybody. I'm telling you, it'd be better for everybody. Like James Gunn's gonna be like, how do we tie this to Amanda Waller's third cousin from this one obscure issue? Dude, I'm so surprised because I agree, and I don't even hate James Gunn, says Braden. I agree. It's crazy. I'm glad we're all seeing it. I'm really glad. I'm glad. You know, I didn't expect it. To be honest, a lot of the time, you guys, you take the opposite side of me, and I feel like it's probably just to spite me and to make me triggered. I'm actually really glad that you guys all see my point, that the DCU is totally cooked, and one gem within it that happens to be good should be liberated from the chains of the Goonverse. I know. I can't believe it either. Darth Sarah says, "Ayo, Josh, check my supers. Love you, bud." Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Here we go. Oh, God. Imsy says, watch the mall show and we won't mention Heather again. I don't even believe you. Number one, Josh Slurper says, rewatching Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis is Batman. If DC were smart, they'd stop trying old tricks and do Spider-Verse animation style with Batman Beyond. Yeah. They actually did do some VFX work or something for one of those kind of shows. I saw it out there. I thought it was pretty cool. Facts that Age of Ultron is underrated. Prime MCU. Yeah, I totally agree. In brightest day, in blackest night, no grandma shall escape my sight. Oh, hot damn. Hot damn. That's a good one there. Only one show away from a comeback. What? You know what's crazy? The DCU property is pretty messed up. It is pretty messed up, yeah. The tone of Lanterns would fit perfectly into Matt Reeves' world. Ooh, I like that, Aubrey. Ooh, Aubrey, I like that. That's a good idea. A lot of chat has bad ideas, but you have good ideas. Okay, that's enough DC talk. It's enough DC talk. Makes me sick. Josh, how long before Gunn tries to take credit on Lanterns even though he didn't write or direct it? You know, I'm actually shocked that he hasn't been more involved or been more in the marketing and stuff like that. I wonder if that's his choice or if DeLuca and Abdi were like, get the fuck out of here. I don't know. Emilio says, thought all you Snyder fangirls were extinct. You motherfucker. We're damn sure not extinct. And there are dozens of us, leveraged by thousands of bots on the internet. You'll never be free. You'll never be free of us, Snyder fans. Forever will you be plagued with the affinity for Papa Snyder. I think Lanterns would actually work really well within the Snyderverse, too. Maybe they changed it. Maybe they're actually setting it up to fit into the returning Snyderverse. Ooh, I like that. Should we make a campaign for it? Should we do like a friggin' what are those stupid things called? A petition? Should we do a petition? I think we should probably do it. Okay, guys, let's get into a little bit of Marvel, a little bit of Star Wars, and then we're going to talk about some crazy Doctor Doom shit, okay? We got some crazy Doctor Doom shit to talk about. Real quick, I'll pull up the X-Men cast announcement here, but what did you guys think of the casting? You know, a lot of you guys were there Friday night. It rolled out. Oh my God, they're doing Doctor Doom DLC for Cosmic Invasion? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I might have to check that out. I like that game, actually. All right, let's get some X-Men shit pulled up here. How are you guys feeling about our X-Men cast so far? How you feeling about our X-Men cast so far, chat? I like them all besides two. What? Indy's gonna kill it as Rogue? Yeah, I like it too. Twitter is having a meltdown over Indy Rogue. Is that so? Is that so? Maybe we'll have to talk about that a little bit. Adam Driver as Sinister is OP. I agree. I absolutely agree. I think it's I don't even think people realize how big of a deal that is, but they will. Should have been Odessa. I like Odessa. I thought she would be great. My pants were happy. Yeah, they're super hot, man. We got some hot ladies. You know, some hot to trot ladies. Oh, sorry guys, I gotta. Okay, let's get into this a little bit. My lovely lady went on a long tism flare about Maya Boyd. Storm is the new Hugh Jackman, and I can't lie, she got me. Well, I mean, I can see it even more than I did with Hugh when he was first hired, but yeah, I think she's going to kill it, man. I don't see Fassbender. We got robbed. I'm out. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Sorry you feel that way. Okay, let's talk about the X-Men, man. This has been an ongoing rumor. Multiple weeks in the making, stuff confirmed with the trades, stuff reported by insiders, stuff proven to be not true by insiders, a lot of crazy stuff. By the way, Rob Liefeld was right about Indy, everybody. Said he didn't know shit, and I told you he definitely knows shit. Probably knows way more shit than he even talks about, and he was right about that. So, we get the cast actually announced Friday night. So the mystery is gone for at least some of these characters, and a couple of really surprising picks, to be completely honest with you. So we have Maya Boyd as Storm. Basically nobody saw that coming. She came out of nowhere. I didn't hear a single person speculating that she would be getting the role. There was a lot of rumors, I don't even know how true some of them are, right? Because, you know, some of this stuff's coming from My Time to Shine Hello, particularly with the Cynthia Orvino shit. And it's that account and whoever's actually running that account is just like a snarky, like, fuckface that tries to stir the pot quite a bit. So it's like, I wonder if the Cynthia stuff was ever real. But to be fair, there were other people that were saying that people within Marvel Studios, including Kevin Feige, actually did want Cynthia for Storm, right? But then why not? And why this person completely out of nowhere? So I'm not familiar with Maya Boyd. She does a lot of theater work. I believe she is a French actress, but I think she's going to kill it, man. I think she looks great. I think I can definitely see her as Storm. She's a very, very attractive lady. And I think just the fact that she's a theater actor is kind of interesting. She's going to bring something really serious to the role. And in fact, that was actually the only thing that was good about Cynthia. People talked about how she was theatrically trained and that she had the chops when it came to performing. And there's some truth to that. I mean, she absolutely did. So it's great that she comes from a theater. I think Marvel obviously saw something in the auditions or in the interviews with her, and they went for a pool that was kind of out of nowhere. And you got to respect that, because I think if it would have been, let's say, Jamie Lawson, or if it would have been Cynthia or some of these other big picks, I almost feel like you get more controversy. And the two big roles that, like, people were fighting about was Storm and Rogue. And it's interesting to see, you know, Marvel Studios go with relative unknowns and people that don't have a lot of baggage. It's interesting that both of the controversial roles went to people that don't have a huge imprint, don't have a lot of drama associated with them, and people like haven't really formed an opinion of these people. And so therefore, the opinion of them in this character will probably do the heavy lifting of what we think of them, right? Which is kind of interesting. So we get Kit Connor as Cyclops. We knew this. The trade spoiled that a couple of weeks ago. I think he's great. It's also really interesting. You see him, and we'll make this a little bit larger. You see him standing with Charles. Don't worry, Charles will not be this tall because he's going to be sitting down, if you know what I'm saying. But you see him, you know, with the other actors. I think he looks great. He's a big guy, dude. He's broader than I expected. He looked big on stage. He's like a kind of thick boy Cyclops, obviously a young guy, but I think he's going to kill it. He's going to grow into the role. So I'm actually really happy with that pick. Samara Weaving, I mean, what the fuck can you even say? Like, this is insane. You know, we're very, very lucky to have this Emma Frost. By the way, she's been posting some stuff, some thirst traps with Marvel Comics, and like, I'm an easy mark, dude. But that shit, you got me. Like, you got me. Like I'm all about Emma Frost in the MCU. Samara, what a babe. You know what I mean? Like, and she got the comics out. They could be upside down. I don't give a fuck. She could be LARPing. I don't give a fuck. Because she's so incredibly attractive. Let's keep going. So, Indy, okay? Indy is Rogue. I think this might be, to this day, the most controversial of the casting decisions. Mostly because I think with her success in Obsession, you could make the argument that Marvel's just going for the hot new actress that may or may not actually be right for the role, but is absolutely right for the brand and for the cachet of the character, okay? And I think there's some truth to that. However, I want to show you this video. Actually, I'll show you a couple of different things. So let me get this put up for you here. Hang on now. This is what Samara Weaving posted with her and all these comics, and it's just like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, let's go. And then look at this video. Like, watch this video and tell me you don't see Rogue. Like, is an 18-second fan cam of her just looking cutesy and finding all the like, is that what we're doing here? Like, yes. It's not like the most hardened evidence, but I think it works. I think she's gonna be a good Rogue, man. And I also loved that the Rogue actress or the voice actor was talking to her on social media, and it's like everybody seems to be supportive. Also, other people realized that she used to be a streamer, so before Obsession she would literally do let's plays. She would like let's play streams of, you know what I mean, and she was sort of like a content creator, kind of struggling, like trying to find her way, and she gets that gig with Obsession, and now she's a fucking X-Men, dude. Her entire life has changed, and she's gonna be a person, I think, that's gonna be incredibly appreciative of what this role does for her, and what the fandom, you know, could mean for her, and I think she's gonna take it really seriously. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I think she's gonna crush it. Like I just think she's gonna crush it, man. So just wanted to kind of point that out to you. Let me see here. What do we got here? Oh yeah, we gotta. Where's the goddamn? Okay, here we go. Okay, so then we have Samara again. I think everybody's like loving Samara. Okay, Christopher Abbott as Professor X is kind of interesting. I really don't know too much about this guy. He seems like a cool dude. He seems like kind of like a fun-loving dude. But is he Professor X? I don't know. You know, I mean, I sort of have some issues with him. Plus, isn't he, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, isn't he Puerto Rican? What is his ethnicity? What is his ethnicity? Nah. The Professor X thing is interesting. They gotta have seen something, man. They have to have seen something. He's black and Jewish, really? Interesting. American. That's not an ethnicity, bud. If you have to ask, who cares? Oh, dude. Did you just feel so badass and smart when you said that in chat? Was that like the peak of your morning? Nah, Rogue is 6 feet tall. Indy's height is fine. What? Yeah, look, my thing is this. I just have trouble seeing it. I don't see a clear, like, oh, hell nah. It's just like, I have trouble seeing it. Like, legitimately, I just don't see it. The one thing that he has going for him is these huge-ass eyebrows. And that feels right for Charles. I've never seen him bald. Like, he didn't even shave his head for this. Like, don't you think he should have shaved his head for this? Like, Samara Weaving's wearing a sexy-ass, you know, thing. She's posting the comics and all this shit. This dude couldn't even shave his head for D23? I don't know. But, to be fair, the rest of the casting feels so strong. It feels so good that I don't think a lot of people are going to really even be that concerned with Charles. And we're damn sure not going to be looking at Charles any scene in which these sexy, foxy-ass ladies are going to be next to him. You know what I mean? Now, let's talk about Adam Driver. Let me get a thing of Adam Driver pulled up. So apparently Adam Driver, oh, and this is kind of a good photo here, actually. Hang on now. Hang on now. Hang on now. Boom. Get that pulled up for you. Let me find a picture of Adam Driver. Because the thing is, Adam Driver, who didn't even show up. Apparently, he did cut a video, though. So let me see if I can find that. Adam Driver is the casting that will really and truly elevate this film. And it's like mind-blowing. Okay? So here's Adam in the video that he sent in. See if we can get some audio here.
I just assumed you meant on set. So instead of being with you all there in California, I'm here in Pinewood in this very lonely soundstage. Kevin and I have been talking for years about maybe joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Let's go.
I think we finally found the perfect film at the perfect time with characters I care very deeply about. So I'm very excited to be playing the role of Magneto. Wrong again? Right. Even better. Nathaniel Milbury. So, I'll be right here. Just waiting for everybody to show up. Enjoy your weekend, D23.
Very cool. So, listen, man. He's playing Mr. Sinister. And that's one of the aliases of Mr. Sinister, the human guy that becomes Essex or whatever. This is crazy. Adam Driver is so good. And as he said here, they've been talking for years, and even Feige has said this in different interviews and whatnot. They've been trying to figure out for a long, long time what role Adam could play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think Adam Driver is one of the most talented living actors. I think it was Spike Lee said Adam Driver is the greatest actor he ever personally worked with, ever. And that dude's worked with like everybody. The guy's incredible. You know, you go back to the stuff in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, and everybody agrees. Adam Driver's turn as Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, it's the best part of those movies. He gives the most interesting performance. It's the only watchable aspect in some ways. And it's absolutely incredible. And Star Wars, of course, had the opportunity to do the hunt for Ben Solo, and Adam was, I mean, he would have killed it. You know, he would have killed it. He was involved. He was happy about it. And he was also happy to spill the tea about it and talk about how that fell apart. So he'd obviously been, I think, holding on to that for some time. And it maybe wasn't until that dream went away completely, because Star Wars is completely dead forever, no matter what, that Adam was finally open to the next big thing. And this, being Mr. Sinister, is the next big thing, because we know, we've been talking about for a long time, Chad, that Mr. Sinister is not just a villain. He might be the villain. We heard some reports that, you know, it's going to be Sinister and it'll be connected to Apocalypse. But then we heard some other weird reports from John Roca where it's like, oh, Sinister might be actually the Thanos of the whole thing, which would be really wild. The character's interesting. Adam's fascinating as an actor. I can't wait to see him in human form. And then also when he eventually becomes Sinister. Man, for people my age, Sinister and Cyclops and that whole thing from like the 90s show and from a lot of those X-Men books back in the day, like Sinister was dope. His design's incredible. He was so spooky, like a vampire looking dude. He's got a really, really fun design. He always would be ahead of the X-Men, know things that they didn't know. He's awesome and really strong and really powerful. In fact, there was a whole thing where the optic blast from Cyclops was like one of the only ways to equalize him. And Cyclops, for whatever reason, was always able to like damage him. And I thought that was really, really cool too. If you would have told me as a young man in the 90s that like someday this incredible actor, or I wouldn't have known who Adam Driver is, right? But like this incredible actor would play this character in live action X-Men, and you'll get to experience this, but in live action, holy shit. It's really, really awesome. So I love the casting choices so far. There's some question as to whether or not this is the full cast. I don't think it is the full cast. I mean, the whole Beast thing, right? That didn't happen. We're not talking about Beast. And, you know, maybe Melton did play hardball, and maybe that didn't work out for him. Maybe there's not going to be a Beast, or maybe he won't be Beast. We're not really sure. Some people think, you know, you're going to get Angel, you're going to get Bobby. Not really a lot of evidence of that, which we've went over before. I think this is your core group, but I of course think you'll get some other players in here as well. And I'm really, really excited. And, you know, the other thing that I'll say before I get into the chat and see what you guys are talking about with the casting, Jake Schreier was so good as the director of Thunderbolts. And I know Thunderbolts didn't perform the way it did, or it could have, and it didn't set the world on fire. And, you know, it's a bunch of like C-level, B-level characters. But I love the Thunderbolts movie. I think it's great, and it was so MCU. As somebody that was going to watch all of these movies no matter what, even when we're sort of dealing with the fatigue and these movies are not, exciting people, even just for me to go in to watch a Marvel movie that actually felt like an old school Marvel movie, like it literally felt like the old Marvel, I really respected that. I loved that about Thunderbolts. And then when you find out he's going to do X-Men, you're like, dude, wait a minute. He just already did an ensemble cast using interesting power sets combined together to do some really fun sequences. He already did that with characters nobody cares about. So imagine what he'll be able to do with characters that everybody cares about. I think this X-Men movie has a real chance to be an all-time great Marvel movie. If it's anywhere near as good as Thunderbolts and it has that X-Men cachet, then you're looking at like Spider-Man level box office potentially, which is crazy. Like, what are the haters going to say then? You know what I mean? Like, truly, what are the haters going to say if the new X-Men movie pops off for 1.5 billion plus? So look, the hype had been real. People were incredibly excited to see what would actually be revealed. It was revealed. Adam Driver is a super good kid, like holy shit good. Not Rockpocalypse good, but really, really good. The rest of the cast, I think, is a good choice. So now let's see what you think, chat. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you have any questions about the casting decisions? What do you think? Grandmaster Choda says, Josh, look at your mentions. I tagged you on a post showing Doom statue, what looks like the nullifier device. Yeah, I already have that pulled up. Appreciate you, though, buddy. We're going to talk about that in a second, because I already got that shit pulled up. It's from the Iron Studios toy. And yeah, it looks like Reed's holding it. Don't worry. We'll get there. Cool Bear says, sent a great render of Indie Rogue in Discord. Appreciate you. I will definitely look at that privately on my own time later when no one's around. Emma Frost is intriguing here. Is she a villain at first? Love triangle incoming? Will she upset Sinister's genetic plans and end up in his crosshairs? I think you're on to it, brother. I think that's why she's so interesting in here. I agree. Yeah, Chris asks, like, will he be in human form for most of the movie and then turn into Mr. Sinister? I would imagine that's probably the way to do it, but I kind of hope he just gets right into Sinister. So maybe like the introduction of the movie is him in like the 1800s or something, like talking about evolution and talking about how Darwin isn't going far enough and he's discovered this crazy thing, and then all of a sudden experiment and he becomes Sinister or something like that. It would be cool. Yeah, who the fuck is Magneto? Well, Magneto's probably not in this movie. He's certainly not the villain of this movie. And if they are doing a Magneto, I mean, we don't really know. We haven't really heard anything about it. Does Sinister ever work with the High Evolutionary? I actually don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. Because High Evolutionary, Mr. Sinister, and then actually Hank McCoy, Beast, are some of the like greatest scientific minds when it comes to genetics in the Marvel Universe. Driver's the same place they're filming Star Wars. He is, but we don't care about Star Wars. Kaylin? But thanks. Daredevil Moggs Doom, oh my God, says, do you think Storm would play a bigger role in Black Panther rather than X-Men? We really don't know, man. Some people say that she'll play a huge role in Black Panther 3. Maybe both. Maybe the X-Men movie introduces this whole mutant thing and why it's being used by certain nefarious forces around the world. And maybe that forces Storm to like leave and go check out what's going on over there in Black Panther 3. I don't know. Secret Wars? What about Secret Wars? Oh, Driver's in the same place they're filming Secret Wars. Oh, thank God. That's what you meant? Sorry, I have PTSD. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Mr. Sinister plays a really fun role in the very beginning of Jonathan Hickman's run, where he accuses, I think it was Billy Braddock, of some kind of treasonous act or harboring some kind of evil or doing something against the will of Doom. And they have a battle to the death, and Braddock cuts off Sinister's head, but then Sinister picks his head up and then beats Braddock's ass or something like that. I forget exactly how it went down. But yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? Yeah, Sinister is one of Doom's barons. Would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. If I remember correctly, there's a clone of Sinister that's the High Evolutionary's mentor. What? What? Wow. Wow, wow, wee, wah. Wow, wow, wee, wah. That's pretty cool. I didn't, yeah. Have to look into that. Have to look into that. I watched every movie Samara is in. She's a show stealer. We're in for a treat. Nice, man. Nice. What kind of movies were we talking about here? Let me know. Josh, have you covered the small device in Doom's hand on his toy statues? No, but I will. I will. I mean, I could jump right into that if y'all want. I was going to talk about Star Wars. I was going to talk about Ahsoka. And then I was going to talk a little bit about Vision Quest. Should we just say, fuck it, and go right into Doom? What do you guys think? Read my super chat to let these dweebs know. Okay, hang on now. Let's see, everything's blah, 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 blah. Josh, show us the image of Rogue in the Discord. No. Isn't the Professor American in the comics, played by a Brit in the movies? Yeah. I think so. I think so. I'm not 100%. Everybody was Ray Charles to the short-ass RDJ playing Iron Man. Now everybody is hype maxing. Man, if it ain't one nitpick, it's another. It's true. You're right. But you got to understand that nerds are... How do I say this nicely? Fucking ridiculous. That's what it is. They're fucking ridiculous. I've been around nerds my whole life. I've been talking to nerds my whole life. And the thing about nerds is they take incredible ownership over these things. They definitely have opinions, strong opinions about almost every aspect of these things. They're also mostly neurodivergent. Yeah. It's a crazy thing, the nerds of the world. And yeah, they are pretty much constantly mad about everything and judging everything, and everybody's got an opinion about everything. Shit. The nerds are never satisfied. Never, ever. And I know, because I'm one of them. I'm like Aragon. Then I will die as one of them. Nerds are also very contradictory. Yes, we are, but no, we're not. Think about it. Think about it. All right, should we talk Vision Quest and Doomsday? Should we do Vision Quest, or should we just go right into the Doctor Doom shit? What do you think? Josh is dying? In like the Cynthia Platts version of death? Sure. Doctor Doom! Aragorn? Yeah, what did I say? Aragon? Aragon, see you later. Doom. We could end on the big one. Vision Quest. Does anybody want me to talk about the Ahsoka trailer, or is Star Wars just dead and cooked? What do you guys think? I do. Skip Star Wars, bro. Nah, fuck Star Wars. Skip it? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, you guys. I actually liked the Ahsoka trailer, but I feel like it would hit a lot harder if Star Wars had been off air completely 100% for like 5 years. Like, I feel like if Star Wars was just completely gone for 5 years and then we saw that Ahsoka trailer, it would be hot. But yeah, I wonder how that show will do, man. They better hope it does really well. They better hope it does really well. Just skip it. We don't need a Star Wars rant. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, let's try to briefly talk about Vision Quest, and then we're gonna do the Doom shit. Okay, let's briefly talk about Vision Quest. Briefly, this will be brief. So we got a look at the Vision Quest trailer during D23, and I gotta tell you, I think it was pretty good. And you know, I had seen what I thought was a different trailer from CinemaCon, and this one's better. It has a lot of the same elements, but this one's even better. And I thought this trailer was really interesting. I'd love to know what you guys think. Were you interested in the Vision Quest trailer at all? The thing is, this Terry Matalas guy, I think that's his name, Terry Matalas. Terry Matalas. He's got a high pedigree. People really like this guy, and he's done some incredible shows. So I've seen even some people that are big Marvel haters bringing up the fact that this Terry dude is incredible. And it seems like he did something right in line with the stuff they like him for with this Vision Quest show. And that in and of itself is pretty fucking cool. I am somebody that's personally way over the Disney Plus shows. And I've always felt like the shows they're so in between the movies and what great television can be, that they've always felt just unfulfilled, watered down, disconnected, not valuable enough, you know, to really generate hype in the way that they should. Okay. However, WandaVision and Agatha are some of the best ones. Okay. Agatha's way better than a lot of people would give it credit for. I think it's pretty good. I don't think they should have ever been created, but they were created. And WandaVision into Agatha is actually pretty interesting. And the lingering question of what's going on with Vision after WandaVision, still a big mystery. You know, it's still a big mystery. And then you look at this trailer, and it's got James Spader, and he's playing Ultron, but he's able to get into human form. And there's this whole idea of fathers and grandfathers and children. And so the show looks like it's some trippy, like, psychological journey that is talking about family with a synthetic being and playing with the idea of what is real, playing with the idea of what is a real connection, family, chosen family, all of those sort of things. And it seems to be exploring them in really, really interesting ways. And on top of that, you do see not Billy, but Tommy. Tommy is in that trailer in the body that he will go into probably after the Agatha show, and, you know, Billy doing whatever he was doing there. So Tommy is in the real world existing, and Vision becomes aware of it. And so it looks crazy. Like it looks crazy, and I am intrigued. I am intrigued. And, you know, Feige and some of the others have said that this show will have something to do with the champions and their arc that is very likely to be going on, maybe a little bit in Doomsday, but probably heavily in Secret Wars. And we've seen the thing where Vision is potentially hanging out with Peter Quill. What does that mean? What does that mean when we then see Peter Quill with Wong and some of the champions in the Secret Wars concept art? How does that all tie together? And just last week, Alex Perez was talking about how Billy and Tommy are likely going to reenact a version of the Children's Crusade story when it comes to Wanda. And the Wanda element here is so interesting. Wanda's like one of my favorite MCU female characters. I'm fascinated by her. I think Elizabeth Olsen's super attractive, but also a really great performer. And I've liked watching what they've done with Wanda over time. And the fact that she kind of blossomed into true Scarlet Witch in this weird MCU version of the timeline connected to Infinity Stones and magic and all these deep, dark secrets. And then what they do with her in Multiverse of Madness, I really enjoyed. I love the bitches be crazy plotline, you know, kind of thing. I love the idea of her knowing about the multiverse, looking for a verse where she could just exist with her children. I love what is explored with the prophecy and her being destined to either destroy or rule the cosmos. I love how that might connect to Doctor Doom and the crown that Alex says will be given to Doom by the Scarlet Witch. What does that mean? All of this stuff is kind of intriguing. So I think Marvel is in this position where a lot of the stuff that they've been doing hasn't been working, but all of a sudden, like, it's working again. And it doesn't just happen like that. Like, this is years of work and actually course correcting slowly over time. You know, a movie like Captain America, Boring Ass New World or whatever is goobly glob, but it's probably the best version of that movie they could have put together. They spent a lot of time on that, and they're tightening things with the Thunderbolts movie into Fantastic Four, and then those movies obviously build into Doomsday and the characters that'll be involved in that. And all of a sudden you see like Marvel kind of start to turn this formula around. People are so jazzed on Spider-Man. People are so jazzed on X-Men. People are very excited for Doomsday, which we're going to talk about in a second here. Doomsday trailer, dude. That shit is like, a lot of people watch that, and a lot of people are very excited about it. So with Marvel kind of turning the corner, it's interesting that Vision Quest, a show that like maybe if it had come out last year or the year before, we all would have like sighed at. This one might be like really watchable. It's going to hit in October, perfect time in between the Avengers Endgame re-release and Doomsday itself. Like, this might be a nice little holdover, kind of a fun, trippy-ass show that'll tie into things that'll be explored in the future Marvel movies, and maybe that's all it needs to be. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for Vision Quest, chat. What do you think of it? Did you like the trailer? Are you excited? Do you have any questions about what might be going on in Vision Quest? This is good. Ultron has returned. It means he's going to be in Secret Wars, hopefully. Yeah, I hope so too, man. I really like James Spader. I like the Ultron character, so hopefully we get a lot more. I agree. WandaVision and Agatha were both very good, in my opinion. They're some of the best they've done. 100%. They're not bringing Spader back for one show. He'll be in Secret Wars. I hope so, and I think you're probably right. It doesn't seem like the kind of guy you just bring in for one show. And then, yeah, Jim Hammond is an interesting element. How are they going to connect that? I'm really curious here. There's a way by which they could info drop, fill in some lore, get us super fans to be really, really excited, because I don't think a ton of people are going to watch this show. I mean, Terry's got his fandom, so maybe, but it could be cool to be able to say, like, oh, actually in this show, this thing happened. It explains this element of Doomsday. Those kind of things are always useful to the fandom. You know what I mean? Vision Quest do look fire, says Dominique. The Agatha propaganda won't work on me. I mean, it's not propaganda, brother. It's just a good show. John's Honest Take says, doing an MCU rewatch, movies only, but I feel like Loki, WandaVision, and Agatha, maybe Vision Quest, should be included. I can do without the Guardians movies. Yeah, true. Get those Guardians movies out of here. Because of the goon. Yes, the book that said Ego on it had me thinking they would be doing a lot of cool Jungian stuff. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some crazy-ass Jungian stuff in there, I believe. I believe so. Brand New Day hit 2 billion. Noise. That's to be expected, but also pretty noise. The song in the Vision Quest trailer was pretty good. Yeah, I like the song for sure. Oh, it's the id and the ego? Okay, yeah, interesting for sure. Still wasted resource on Agatha. Nobody asked for that shit like Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. But it also just happens to be one of the good ones they made. I still would have canceled it. I would have canceled it, and I would have told them to take their tears out of my fucking office. But, you know, I wasn't in charge. And the show's not bad. Josh, have you seen One Less Than Zero with RDJ and Spader? No, what's that? I don't know what that is. Looks like this version of Ultron won't be serious, though. Yeah, that's true, but you never know. He could flip into some dark shit. That could be cool. I hate typing from my phone. Yeah, it's tough. Was Infinity Ultron hinted at in the trailer? I don't think so, but maybe. Yes. Wanda will destroy Battleworld? Maybe. Maybe. Ultron always had his own cunning humor. Yeah, no, he was a lot like Tony. That was the whole idea. He had Tony's personality. So I wonder if they'll realize he has Doctor Doom's personality, though. Wouldn't that be interesting? Josh, you think Dune 3 would affect Doomsday hitting $3 billion at the box office? No, I think Dune is going to make like $20. I think all the Dune fans are going to be like, wait, why didn't anybody show up? I thought we like good movies and we like elevated genre content. And then Timothy C is going to cry like a little bitch. And he's going to be like, I guess I will do the ballet. And then, it'll just be a disaster for them. Thanks for the question. Spader will always be my Daniel Jackson. Wait, what? Do you know what Marvel Studios and Doomsday is going to dominate? Because Marvel Studios has a fan base. Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. Dune is a coin flip. It's not your bad. Don't worry about it. You're good. Secret Wars led by RDJ, Tobey Maguire, and Hugh Jackman could definitely hit $3 billion. I think so too. Yeah. I think so too, ladies and gentlemen. I think so too. Yeah, Vision Quest looks kind of cool, man. And it's just crazy that Marvel is actually just making pretty solid content pretty consistently. I would say since Thunderbolts, basically. Pretty crazy. Dune slander is devastating because I'm looking forward to both. Well, after week 1, you could probably find a couple of art house theaters that'll be playing Dune. Because it's got no sauce, no motion. Sorry. Timothy C for the Hobgoblin? Maybe, I don't know, bro. Look, I'm just being a dick face. Dune's gonna do fine. I'm gonna see it. I'm excited about the Dune movie, actually. It'll do fine, okay? Relax, everybody relax. Josh, Warhammer is what you think of Dune. I don't even understand exactly what you mean by that, but I'm fucking offended. I don't like it. I don't like what you're saying about it. And now I'm offended. We all know Ned is the Hobgoblin. That would be crazy. That would be kind of fun. Whatever you think of Dune, just apply it to Warhammer and you hit the nail on the head. I thought that's what you were trying to say, and I hate it. Man, Warhammer's got so much sauce compared to Dune. What's like Dune, that their main planet is just fucking Tatooine? Oh, real cool, real original. Tatooine, and instead of the spice, it's actually just spice. And they stole it from Star Wars, even though they had it first. Okay? So we're just on a goddamn desert-ass planet for 2 fucking movies, Tatooine style. Their ships look so sterile. Like, all these fucking people are like, oh, I love Dune. Oh, I don't like AI. Your Dune looks like AI. The ship designs look like they were designed by large language models. It's boring. It's fucking boring. The outfits, boring. The weapons, boring. Even the fucking magic is boring. It's a fucking voice. It's a voice. No cool ass energy, no auras, no blasting. No, just a voice with reverberation. Boring. Josh, did you like Ironheart? I didn't watch a single frame of that fucking show. So I can't really give you an opinion on it. Anyway, okay, let's end that segment there. You guys are really pissing me off with this Warhammer slander, man. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the ships in Warhammer? They're seeing the ship. It's like a fucking cathedral. Gothic architecture all over. It doesn't even make sense how it flies, but it doesn't matter because it looks amazing. Okay? The magic that people use in Warhammer is like fucking lightning blasting through the air. We got black puddles of blood literally falling up somehow from the ground. We're going inside the mind of psychers. It's a visual fucking feast. Okay, listen, Linda. See, Josh gets it. Quit slandering Warhammer. I doubted it, but it's awesome. See? Welcome aboard, Josh, and I love your name. Welcome aboard. This guy gets it. Now that's a champion. All right, it's Doom time. But first, hang on. Let me take a couple sips of this. I want to go to the potty. Okay? I got to go on the potty like a big boy. And then we'll do the Doom segment. Okay? Hang on. That video from Adam Driver is pretty good, though, for show. For show. Okay. I'm gonna use the restroom, and I want you all to witness the glory of Warhammer cosplay. I mean, Marvel, you know, no offense, and I like the thoughts that do the Marvel shit when they do like the sexy, like you're just sexy and you got a wig on and shit, like it's fine, but also you ain't doing shit. Okay, look at the glory, look at the ingenuity, look at what is required to cosplay Warhammer and how much more awesome it is. So feast your fucking eyes on this while I go use the restroom. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay. Do you all see the glory of Warhammer now? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Josh, you're really testing how many real ones left? Oh, shit. Well, we're about to do some crazy Doom talk, though. Are the Blue Minutes leaks real? I'm not really sure, man. I think some of them are probably real, some of them aren't. Did you strangle your lizard? I mean, yeah, dude, of course. I went into the bathroom and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a mess. I started peeing and I started whipping it around. You know, it got everywhere. Probably have to go clean that up later. But that Doomsday trailer, though. Who throw Doom out that window, though? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Proof or it didn't happen? It's on the OnlyFans already, actually. We kind of do the same thing when we tell him what he should watch. Oh, dude, what? Randy Poole? Some logic in the chat? Who are you? And get out of here fast because they will invade your brain with their mind virus, brain rot, toxicity. This is what Josh should have worn after it was revealed he was right about Jean Grey. True, with the wings. No, that shit is seriously cool. I mean, the Warhammer, that's Saint Celestine. Should I tell you the lore of Saint Celestine? Because it seems like you're really interested now. Ain't I a stinker? Can you show the trailer while you're talking about it? Hell yeah, I gotta show the trailer. I think. Let me find it. Yeah, let's get the trailer pulled up. No, this part's actually gonna be really cool. I'm actually really looking forward to this segment. By the way, this is going to be on the main channel, edited together as a video. I already put a intro on this, so I will edit down this segment and put some cool editing on it. Actually, Pavik will be doing a lot of editing on this, and it's going to be really, really cool. So even if you like this segment, you might want to watch it again on the main channel, because I will be able to really edit it together in a succinct way so you really get what I'm talking about here. All right, let me pull this up. Man, this trailer, though. This trailer, though. Almost 30 million views just on YouTube in like what, 2.5 days or something. Like, my God, that's some serious freaking action there, huh? That's some serious action, baby. Okay. Oh no, I shouldn't have messed with my hair. Now it's gonna bother me. No, I shouldn't have done it. You guys don't know what it's like with the curls. Oh no. What do I do now? Oh my God, look, now it's all curled up. Goddamn humidity. Goddamn curly hair. Fuck it, man, we bald. Okay. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready to dive deep on that Doom shit? Are you ready to get all up in it? Are you ready for me to stop fucking with my hair? Let's do it. So, look, this trailer is amazing. People love the new Doomsday trailer, but there's one particular thing in the trailer. It shows up a couple of different times, and people are pretty confused as far as what it could mean. So we'll pull this up, and again, it is in a couple of different parts of the trailer. I think the most obvious part is when he does the superhero landing. Okay? Which I think... yeah, it's right before this. Yeah. Yeah, this part here. And that is really what is confusing people. Okay? This right here. What is that? Also, what is the object that is next to him? It, of course, appears that he's crashed out of this building, this ship, this device, whatever this thing is. And yes, we have seen this before from the leaks, and we'll get into all of that, okay? It does look like he's thrown out or hit out of this because it's like he has an impact and it's like his back is to the camera, and that he flips around and does a freaking superhero landing. Boom. And it's very badass, okay? But there's a lot of questions. I think one of the main questions is like, what is this exactly when he's in this weird mode? Is that Mjolnir? Certainly looks like Mjolnir in this shot, right? So was he hit out of the window by Thor, or, you know, and he's knocked out? It's possible, okay? We'll table that question for now, because the main thing I want to talk about in this video is that dark energy, because it's not just here. There's actually a part right before he hits Thor where you can see it again. Okay? Thor's rolling up, getting the Mjolnir all juiced up. We've seen this before. This was in the first trailer. Boom, gonna come in, get stopped with 2 fingers. Pretty crazy. But then, and I really have to try to like really slow this down for you guys. Oh, geez. Okay. let me try to pull this up so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. So, right here, okay? He's got it stopped. He's going to like fling Mjolnir away, okay? Oh, jeez. Boom. Now, look at this. Watch the hand, okay? Watch the hand. Oh, it's like a blink. If you blink and you miss it. Okay, right there's a good shot of it. Do you see the black energy? Can you guys clearly see the black energy? Stormbreaker, right. So, a lot of people are missing this particular part. Yeah, like, because when he's flipping around, it's like, okay, what is that exactly? It's kind of hard. Maybe he's just like flipping and it's his cape or whatever. But this is pretty undeniable right here. There's some weird black tendril-like energy, okay? And as we pointed out before, it seems as though this energy... And it's hard to say how much of it's like being hidden in the trailer, but if you look right here, here's the Hot Toys preview for Doom, okay? And they have here separate rolling eyeballs. Book is inspired by concept art. That's the Word of God. We talked about that last week. The cover of that book seems very similar to the canvas and the weave thing that's there with Doom's family, right? And so this could be like a sigil or be connected to the Word of God. But they don't have shit over here, but you can see this black energy. Do you see this black energy? It almost looks like it has like a Kirby crackle kind of a thing going on. And then there's green energy in there as well. Okay, so it happens twice in the trailer. Really blink if you miss it when he's blasting Thor away, but I think it's pretty clearly seen too when he's flipping around after being knocked out of that building. Okay, and I will talk about the device in a little bit here as well, but let's just stay on this dark energy here. Okay, now what I think this is connected to Multiverse of Madness. Okay, so I want to show you a little bit of Multiverse of Madness, and I will explain why I think what happened in Multiverse of Madness is going to explain what has happened to Doctor Doom. Okay, now this is at a part in the movie when Strange literally dreamwalks into a dead body. Okay, and so he's there, he gets in his old dead body, or actually a different version of him that was a dead body that he buried there, and he goes up to where Wanda's at, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna, do this thing. And then all of a sudden, he's walking up, he sees the place where Wanda's at, and literally, he's just looking there, okay? And that's like where he's dreamwalking, he can see it. But then this happens. Do you guys remember this? It says, soul snarling, bones cracking. They're souls. Like, this is the official Marvel dubbing. They're souls. And they have black magic-y kind of energy. He's like dealing with it, and they actually come and attack his body as well. They attack Christine. They come out of his corpse. They're cackling. Okay, and does anybody remember what they tell him here? I don't know the last time you saw this, but does anybody remember what they tell Stephen? They say, Stephen Strange, possessing a dead body is forbidden. Forbidden. trespasser. Trespasser. There's male souls and female souls. Cease your dream walk or face the eternal consequences. All right. Now, when they attack Christine, it's really interesting because she's able to thwart them or whatever. But one of the last things she says to them is go back to hell. This is after she gets him up, but I believe it's like right before this. You'll have to watch the exact scene again because she thwarts their attack. Yeah. So she hides out this one. It's very Raimi, you know, he does like his classic like horror, like monster thing here. She gets, and look at this, they're coming out of his body. And they're attacking him, they're attacking her. She gets like one of the artifacts there and she's able to kill one of them. I'll show you in a second here. Yeah, muted. Like I said, I knew that. I knew this. I knew that we were muted. Yeah. Don't worry. Hey, relax. Listen. So, what's the last thing you guys heard? He's doing this on purpose. I'm not doing it on purpose. So, let me just try to explain it. These are souls from hell. And they seem to be able to police the mortal world when you do something that is considered an abomination, or when you are doing something that is against what they say is forbidden. Okay? So, to me, and then when you look at Steven, particularly like when he's flying around, when he has the power, like just watch this. Does that not look exactly the way that Doom looks in that one shot where he's flipping around? Like, doesn't that look the same? So if Stephen Strange can use the power of these specters and these souls, and he can actually just, even through a dreamwalking thing, like utilize them and utilize that power, then would not Dr. Doom also be capable of such a thing? I think so. And I think it's potentially even more crazy than that, okay? He's using them on Wanda and stuff. Yeah, like, dude, I'm telling you right now, I think those things I think look very, very similar. Okay, this would also explain why Victor says hell answers to me, because frankly, hell does not answer to Doctor Doom. There are many different times in comics where he is at odds with hell, he's at odds with Mephisto, etc. Right? But if somehow, some way, he actually does have the ability to make hell answer to him, maybe this is connected to the word of God, or it could be connected to an ultimate sacrifice. So I think this thing that's hidden throughout the trailer Doom's power, because like, dude, I'm telling you, it's blink if you miss it. It's barely in that one shot when he gets hit. I think it'll be revealed that Doom has crazy forbidden power, and I think he is able to utilize the actual powers of hell. And I think that's what that dark energy is. That's what that dark sort of magic is. And I think it'll be connected to this thing here in Multiverse of Madness, okay? But we can actually take it even a little bit further, right? Because if they are souls, and if he does have control of them or power over them, how did he get that power? Is it just because he's like the Sorcerer Supreme and he's able to do things that Steven's able to do? Or are these not just any random souls, but are these potentially the souls of his own family? Did he sacrifice his own family to gain control of souls, including his family's souls? And is he utilizing those souls as this ineffable power, as this just total like trump card level of crazy power and ability? So I think that's what's going on there. Now, another thing that's in the trailer, and I'll show you this in a second or two, is the whole thing with Reed. Like, what is Reed holding? Okay. And I'll pull this up for you too, because it could connect to what we're talking about here. So once we get to the superhero landing here with Doom, which is so weird because he's in the other costume too, which I don't really understand. Like, why is he in this costume? Is he pretending to just be in this costume and then like the magic's gonna like show that he's actually in the other costume? Because if this sequence is really just all one sequence, then Doom is dressing this way and he's getting hit after maybe they finally understand that he's actually the villain. And then maybe he's like, okay, now everybody's on to me, so I'm just going to let it all hang out, so to speak, and I'll just reveal finally that I actually look like this. Maybe there's some other shenanigans going on here, okay? But regardless, check this out here. So Doom and Reed seem to be holding an object here. It's really like blink and you miss it. You can kind of see it there. You can kind of see it here. There's a good shot of it right there. You can kind of see it there. It's like there's an object. And just like the toys leaked and spoiled the dark energy stuff, we have this from Iron Studios, which shows you exactly what that object is. Okay? And I certainly don't think it's the ultimate nullifier. Some people think it's an ultimate nullifier. No. That to me looks like celestial tech and probably a key. It looks like some kind of a key that might unlock like a world forge or, you know, some kind of crazy celestial technology that's going to allow him to do this. Now, we don't know for sure, but there are longstanding rumors that Doom would be utilizing all sorts of MacGuffins and all sorts of crazy things that he has found throughout the multiverse. And obviously, it feels like he's going to need Loki's power. It feels like he's going to need Wanda's power, okay? But there was a time where we thought he might need the 10 rings. And the only reason we thought he might need the 10 rings is because it seemed like that was celestial tech. Technically, you see that spinning orb, you know, and it's almost like a Dyson sphere with the way that the rings warp around it. And we thought, oh, okay, well, maybe he's going to need something like that and to unlock this celestial power. But then if you go back to this idea of like alchemy and sorcery, and even when you look at the Word of God in the mural has an under realm, which is, you know, either these roots or on the Word of God, it almost looks like serpents or Chthon or, you know, crazy H.P. Lovecraft kind of monsters. But the top has like angels. This is clearly seen in the tapestry. So you've got the dark evil, maybe you could call it hell. And then you have celestial tech or angels. And I almost can't help but think that what Doom's really going to need to do is combine the power of the heavens or the celestial tech with the power of hell, and using both of those powers and the dichotomy or the polarity between them, break reality and reform it using the magic to create Battleworld. So I don't think it's the nullifier. I think it might be celestial tech. It might be connected to something to do with the 10 rings or something like that. It is interesting that Reed seems to have it or be holding it like with Doom. I think that's why people think it's the nullifier. They think that like Reed's just going to be able to use it to like wipe Doom out or something like that. I don't really think so. I think it's just one more piece of the puzzle for Victor Von Doom. But either way you slice it, it's crazy because that shit is very hidden. Like, you do not, unless we had all these fanboys and all these internet detectives that were scanning this thing frame by frame, we would not have seen this object. We would not realize that it was spoiled in the toy. We would not realize that there's that black energy when Victor is hit and he flips around. We would not realize that he also has that energy when he hits Thor. And again, I think that's connected to souls. I think this could be connected to why Doom says hell answers to him. Crazy shit. Really, really wild. But that's what I think. What do you think, chat? What do you think about this shit? I think that's the scene where they find out how bad he is. Yeah, totally. So is it possible? Because let's go back to the shot here. What's going on in this scene? Is this where they finally figure out that Doom is actually the villain, that he's been fucking with everybody and it's all really, really bad? Maybe. So what even is this ship, right? Because we have seen this in the leaked image. It looked like it was TVA tech or maybe retrograde tech. It could be something that Reed created. It could be something that Doom created. But like, what is this thing? It almost looks like it's a tower, right? Like, it almost looks like it's a tower. And then Doom is hit out of it, okay? And then we see like the weird, like, that looks so much like the stuff from Multiverse Madness to me. Like, you don't have to agree, but to me, like, that's definitely like that, okay? And then he superhero lands, and we still have that in the background. But we don't even know if this superhero landing is technically from the same shot. This could be a totally different shot because he's in the suit that we think is the suit before his accident. Okay, so then this right here, like, we don't know what suit he's in here, but in this shot here, which it's all edited together to feel like it's all in the same sequence, even the background looks like it's the same sequence, but we don't know that it is. And we got Doom here, and Doom's in the other costume. He's in the costume that we've seen, you know, in most of the promo with the ribbon on his arm and the gauntlet and all this stuff. This is not the Doom costume that he does the superhero landing in. So it's either an editing trick, and maybe that superhero landing is from a different sequence when the incursion happens in his backstory. Maybe he actually does use magic to appear the way he did when Sue and Reed used to know him before, and he's hiding the tragedy of the scarred body and needing to be in this suit, right? I don't really see that, because I think part of why people will support him is because he will be sympathetic because he lost his family and he's all scarred and he has to use the suit to stay alive. So, like, it doesn't make sense to me that then he would be pretending to be fine and he's just aware of the multiverse. Like, that's not as compelling. That wouldn't get as many people to follow him. And also, he has all these sorcerers and stuff, right? And that's supposed to be a part of the plot, too. So I think this trailer might be tricking us, dude. Like, I basically think that the background, I think the background of this shot is probably not even what it looks like. Like, I don't even think that's what it will look like there. And the fact that this shot looks like it's the same background, I don't even think that's real. I don't even think this superhero landing is connected to this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of trickery going on here. Like, this could be a totally different thing. And Marvel hides shit like that in their trailers all the time, chat. So it is certainly interesting. Yeah. It is certainly interesting. Could Victor be dreamwalking into dead Tony, and that's why he looks like Tony? Yeah, it could be, but you dreamwalk into variants of yourself. So either way you slice it, like, he would have to still be Tony, essentially, or Tony would have to be Victor. What if he's time slipping? Yeah, it does kind of look like the time slipping a little bit, yeah. But how do you explain the tendrils coming out of his... So when he repels Thor, the black energy and tendrils go out first, and then the green energy hits. And we really have no way to know if that is even the final version of that. Maybe it's not green energy at all. Maybe at that point he's using way more dark energy. We actually haven't seen any of the red energy either. So who knows? Chthonic, welcome to the Nerdvengers. Welcome back. You are a Nerdvenger once again. Yeah, I don't think it's time slipping, but sure. The trailer is cut from two different scenes. Doom's suit is different. Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right, yeah, let me go over a few of these soupy chats here. Do you think Storm... Oh, wait, well... what if he's time slipping? Could Victor be dreamwalking? Doom is Mephisto, confirmed. 100%. That almost gives off Void vibes. Yeah, it seems it could be some Alioth Void stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. Papa Josh, can you shout out my boy Chase and tell him why he should watch your channel? He's a nerd but refuses to watch YouTube but follows Eric Voss. Please talk some sense into him. Much love from the Nerdvengers. Well, look, man, it's just like, do you want to sit at the kids' table or do you want to sit at the adults' table? You know what I mean? And I like Eric Voss, you know. I really liked on Friday when he was like, uppy, uppy, or whatever he said. But the reality is some people put on a face, put on a voice, read from a script, and don't dare shake the boat. And then there's me. You want the real shit? You want it raw as fuck? You want somebody that's not afraid to tell you the truth? That's always right about everything, especially Warhammer? Think about it. What do you want? Thank you, bud. Duggaditch says, think I've missed something. Why would Victor be wearing a mask and armor before he has his accident? What's your theory, dude? So there's two ways. Well, there's probably multiple ways. Two ways come to mind. Number one, he has the accident in college and does go through the experience of getting his armor before leaving. Okay? That could be possible. Or it's just an MCU thing, and they're going to put him in the costume even more. Maybe he never is scarred. Maybe he just thinks of himself as Doctor Doom. He's emulating things he can't even really understand. And it's just like, that's who he is. He's just Doctor Doom for whatever reason. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Garzilla says, after this trailer, I stand firmly behind Pedro. Wait, pause. What? I don't even know what that means. Chthonic says, this could be an incursion, and that's where they figure out Doom found the Beyonders when traveling the multiverse with Franklin. I mean, that would be pretty hyped. I don't know if we're going to get any of that. But yeah, it's possible that it's an incursion. I think him superhero landing is him superhero landing in front of an incursion on his world when he has Sue and Franklin as his child. Right? And so like the incursion happens and Doom like comes out of like the Fantasticar or some shit. Because I think he'll have the Baxter building and I think he'll be essentially the Reed Richards of that universe. And then he superhero lands in front of the incursion and then maybe he realizes it's fucked up. And then maybe the very next thing we see is him going back to the tower, and that's when he stands in front of Franklin, and that's when he does the experiment. So, yeah, that's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Josh, the official name for those things in Doomsday statue is being called Dark Orb Energy and Artifacts. So I think we're on the right trail. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously magical. And again, like, you got to understand that Multiverse of Madness wasn't just a movie. It was a movie they made that had deep connections to things that they wanted to play with for Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty when the Kang Dynasty was a thing. So, look, the last time we saw Stephen Strange was when he was in that movie learning all that shit. Remember, he messes with the Darkhold, he crosses lines, he has the third eye open. The next time we're going to see him in Doomsday, he's going to be Doom's right-hand man in a weird-ass dungeon mask. You don't think those things are connected? Like, you don't think all the stuff that Steven experienced won't inform what Victor, what Boris, and what all of the witches are going to be doing? Yeah, and Evil Strange, too. Right. Like, so there's a lot, I think, to suggest that dark black energy is some kind of, like, either souls from hell or some power from hell, and seems like it's really strong. Like, it seems like it's really strong, because I think it's probably how he actually stops Thor and pushes him away. I don't think that's base level Doom green sorcery. I think it's soul magic, or you know what I mean? Like, I think it's some weird Chthonian magic or something. Like, it's crazy. Any chances we're seeing more than one Doom? I think it's very possible you see more than one Doom, but this idea that, like, RDJ is not the main Doom, like, guys, I've been doing this for 10 fucking years. I have some of the best sources in the fucking game. I figured out the Jean Grey thing before all of those twats that put all that info that they just get fucking told by some schlub behind a paywall. You know what I mean? None of these motherfuckers are on my level. And I'm telling you, it's absurd to think they're going to hide Cillian Murphy Doctor Doom. There's zero evidence of that. Everything I've heard from incredibly reliable people tells me he's the Doctor Doom. RDJ is the Doctor Doom. Yeah. So it's like, what? We're going to hear about this Gene thing for a while, guys. Yeah, as if I wouldn't have had to hear about it if it didn't go down, Shreddy. As if I wouldn't have had to be chastised for chat. What if she was a Jean Grey? You think I would have just never heard about that? But guess what? She fucking was. So you're going to sit there and you're going to listen to Papa Josh explain that he's the best in the fucking game. It's not even close. These fuckers don't even do journalism. They just have some twat that they know that's from a thing. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here. My new empire. Anyway, we should probably calm down. Can we just calm down? You guys are getting me riled up. Okay? Can we calm down? Just felt like Radden says, what if it's Loki's power at the branches before being revived? Let me think about that. Loki's power when he got the branches. I think Loki's power is important, but I don't think he gets Loki's power until the end of the movie. You know, and I don't think that's what the black tendrils are. Look, I think it's probably souls or hell magic. It could technically be Alioth. Alioth could technically be antimatter. Maybe there's some cosmology there that would help to explain it. But yeah, I can't really see it being Loki's power. But if he's wrong about Doom, he'll hear about it every day. Exactly. You tell him, Thrag. Garzilla says, read something that was supposedly the story for Kang Dynasty. Did you ever read that? What did you think? Yeah, I mean, I read a whole bunch of speculative articles, things that leakers and insiders said about it. Yeah, look, I think we sort of dodged a bullet there. I know that it was very dramatic and, you know, it forced Jonathan Majors to go work for Ben Shapiro, and it's like, wow, like, what a fucking world, right? But at the end of the day, I do think that we actually did dodge a bullet. I actually think we live in the best timeline because Doctor Doom is so much cooler than Kang. Like, get the fuck out of here, Kang. Like, are you kidding me? And then we got the Victor Timely, like, I think I will be cooler. Dun, 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 dun. And it's like, no, you're a fucking clown. Fuck out of here. So I think we actually dodged a bullet, and I think we're living in a good timeline. Thank you for the $5 holla. Appreciate it. Kang sucked so much, dude. He was so stupid. The only good Kang was at the end of Loki season 1. That scene was incredible, and then they immediately fucked it up, turned him into a clown, had him get shit on by ants, and the preachy-ass stupid daughter of fucking Ant-Man. Oh my God. The whole thing was going crazy off the rails. The whole thing was going crazy off the rails. So we're good. We're good here. All right. Should we call it the stream? You guys got any questions? Should we just shoot the shit for a little bit? I'll do like 15 more minutes. Anything else you guys want to talk about? The den of no fun? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm having a ball. I'm having a lot of fun today. You're not having fun? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? I'm having a ball. I don't know about you, but I'm having a ball. Should we switch into Warhammer? What should we do that? Did I miss the Star Wars segment? Yeah, and so did I. The Wolverine game out next month. You hyped? I don't have a PlayStation. I'm an Xbox guy. Switch into Star Wars? What for? Why would I do that? How was Liam's birthday? It's my son's B-Day today. Oh, dude, well, happy birthday to your son. Liam's birthday was awesome, man. It was great to see the family. He was super psyched the whole time. His cousin Lucas was here, and so it was fun to watch him and Lucas have fun together. Yeah, it was a great day. You know, Athena was very chill, but had a great time as well. She was psyched. It's really cute, really cool. Thanks for asking, man. Why wouldn't you? I already said Ahsoka looks pretty cool, but it's too late. It won't change anything. Star Wars needs a 5-year break. Maybe if they took a 5-year break, people would care about Ahsoka. Doesn't matter. Lucas? No, he is a Masiak. He has the Polish name. Is that my Shiba? My dog just started screaming out there. How surprised are you that we got no Daredevil Born Again Season 3 at D23? They know they failed us. They even brought back Elordi. Yeah, nobody's watching that Daredevil show, man. I think it's a shame because I like Charlie Cox. I like the Daredevil character. The Netflix stuff was goated. But it's basically all because of the character Heather. You know, and this total rotten to the core devil succubus. Ruined it for everybody, Heather. Thanks a lot. Let me ask you this. I'll throw a bone to the Star Wars fans. How many of you guys were excited about the Ahsoka trailer? Throw one into the chat. Was it exciting? Did you like it? What do you guys think of the Ahsoka trailer? Did you like it? I didn't like it. Oh no. Did you see Downey's jacket with some Battleworld clues? Pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting, yeah. It was It's because of Anakin. I'll watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how cooked that brand is, huh? Because they're going to bring Hayden back, and they're doing the flashback things, and Thrawn's line was cool. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I personally, and then like here's the other thing. The Starfighter trailer leaked, and I didn't even watch the leak, dude. Do you know how disinterested I have to be to not watch a leaked trailer? Like, I'm legitimately like, I'm good. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'll wait until inevitably it comes out in 4K and chat forces me to react to it. And it is sad that that's where I'm at with Star Wars, but I'm also not going to pretend that that's not where I'm at with Star Wars. I mean, it is so cooked. Like, I legitimately do not care. Hayden's acting is like it's 2005 again, 47 months. Yeah, true. I seriously think it's Loki's power, and Thor is hella pissed over that. But Loki time slips again and plays the role of Molecule Man. You're going wild with it, bro. You're going wild with it, man. I don't know about all that. Wasn't one rumor that RTJ had multiple roles? Yes. Yeah, it could explain the different costumes. Absolutely. Yeah. You watched the second Doomsday trailer when it leaked. Yes, I did. Many times. Clea sort of runs the dark dimension. I would imagine Doom certainly has dark energy magic. Yes, but we've seen what that looks like from Mads Mikkelsen and the first Doctor Strange movie, and it doesn't look anything like that dark energy, the dark tendrils and shit. Gosling equal Cade Skywalker, you saw and theory to talk about. Yes, we did talk about that, and I think it's possibly true. It's just like, it doesn't, like, at this point, guys, everything that's going to come out of Star Wars, including shit like that, is just going to feel like a desperate move. And it's going to feel half-hearted. And it's going to feel like, okay, but remember, you made Luke Skywalker the greatest hero of all time, suck the titty milk 5 years, 10 years ago. And now you're going to act like he's so fucking cool. We're going to put him on the Marvel Star Wars crossover comic book because everybody loves Luke Skywalker, except, you know, the fucking president of the company and all the people that were shitting all over his legacy for 6+ years as you were creating your trilogy. You don't just get to wash that away. You don't just get to pretend that that didn't happen. I think everybody is just going to assume that Star Wars is just being desperate and they're just trying the craziest shit ever. And there might be some truth to that. Uno Dub Nintendo says with a 5 spot. Season 1, Heather is a delusional character. Season 2, Heather is a willfully ignorant character. Season 3, Heather checks notes. Serial killer? What the fuck? Yeah. Did you ever talk about Star Wars? Nope, I decided not to. Field Maintenance with Phil says, what's the difference between Marvel bringing RDJ back and Star Wars bringing Hayden back? Well, one might be a well-thought-out plan for almost a decade that will recontextualize a character that's one of the most iconic characters of all time. And also, I mean, you know, I like Hayden Christensen, but let's be real. When we heard that Doom voice, especially in the second trailer, we were like, holy shit, this Robert Downey Jr. motherfucker can act. So I'd say that the key difference is one is good and one is not. One is well thought out with an actor with the caliber to literally perform Victor Von Doom so well that you're going to lift an eyebrow whenever you look at Tony Stark again. And one is Hayden Christensen. You know what I mean? So, like, I like Hayden. I really like Hayden. But, you know, he's not the Oscar-winning Robert Downey Jr. Also, one of them got paid $100 million. One of them got paid $5. Garzilla says, when are these Endgame Encore tickets going up? I actually have no idea. Yeah, I don't really know. Hopefully soon, though. Once the truth to this being told in retrospect after Doom already won, and that's why he's in his throne, and the branches are from Loki to the floor. Something like that could be going on, 100%, yeah. I don't think that's true, but it could be. Robert Downey Jr. has made $500 million off of Marvel Studios. Let that sink in. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And that's just his, that's just salary. That's not even what he gets off points, I don't think. But I could be wrong about that. What are your thoughts on Filoni fixing Luke/Star Wars? Think he even acknowledged it? I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I would say that's a good plan. I would hope that he would try something like that. But I just generally think that's an uphill battle. Maybe it's an uphill battle that you just have to fight, and you just got to, like, sift through the bullshit and get to a point where you reestablish the Luke Skywalker character. But, like, dude, I'll tell you this. Like, if they're really just going to, like, make the Starfighter movie set up Rey and Simon Kinberg's trilogy, then light a fucking match, dude. It's over. Like, it's over. Do you think the Nexus commercial hints to something they do later with Wanda? Also, Star Wars is done. They blew it up. I agree. Well, all of that stuff was apparently going to connect to something with Stephen Strange, which was going to maybe better set up Multiverse of Madness, but they had to shift all that around, so they ended up just pulling all the Strange stuff out of WandaVision. Maybe, though. Maybe they could figure out a way to make it work. Adam Proudlock says, Papa Josh, several of my buddies are normies. Their biggest concern is Doomsday is just going to be a cameo fun fest with a lackluster story. You grab them by their fucking faces and you tell them, if that's the worst case scenario, we've already won, you motherfucker! And then you start shaking. I'm like, ah! Like, what are you talking about? Oh, the worst case scenario is we have a bunch of fun cameos and it's a bunch of smashing and cool action? Oh, no! Oh, poor us! What the fuck do you want? What do you want this movie to be? Holy shit! My biggest concern is it's going to be filled with iconic characters and famous actors that once played them, and it'll be full of nostalgia and maybe lack a little on the story. Good writing is a must? No, it isn't. I don't care if they literally do Mad Libs and it doesn't even make sense what they're saying. Holy shit. Yeah, hyped Cameo Fest, greater than the Odyssey. Yeah, hyped Cameo Fest, better than a lot of shit out there. Oh, I need it to be this magical story. Oh, really? Really? You need the Doctor Doom movie titled Doomsday to be the next Citizen Kane? Really? That's what you need? That's what you need? Okay, bud. This motherfucker's like, yes. It needs to be a musical. Star Wars lives in Josh's heart forever. Forever. Yes, but my heart is also 2.5 sizes too small. Bah humbug. I'll steal Christmas. Dave Filoni's getting a sack of coal. Kathleen Kennedy is a sack of coal. And Star Wars is a sack of shit. Bah humbug. Go fuck yourself. Thank you, Rossi. All right, I think that's enough for today. I appreciate you guys, though. Much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pretty good stream, huh? Pretty good. Pretty good way to start off the week. Pretty good day to start off the week. Ah, yes. So, no stream tomorrow. I'm going to be working on videos, though. I've got a lot of videos I want to cook. Wednesday, we'll have a regular stream, and then we'll have a Warhammer Wednesday stream. I know it's a stream you're all really caring about. And then this Saturday, we're going to do our deep dive stream. We're back to the deep dives, baby. This Saturday, X-Men, Days of Future Past. It's going to be juicy, so you're going to want to be there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. One day Josh will do a live panel at a con. People want the live in-person rants. I don't know if that's even true. I think people are going to like fucking take me off stage. Like security will come up to be like, he's saying outlandish shit. Who is this guy? I thought you said he was chill like Eric Foss. No. No, I am not. But I love Eric, though. You know, like, Eric's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Just different strokes for different folks. All right, everybody. Much love. Appreciate you guys. Take care. And as I always say, I hope you, that's right, you, have an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you. Shut up. I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man, that was a good one, man. My favorite part was when everybody agreed that Lanterns should not be in the DCU. I know. It's crazy that we all came to the same conclusion and we all agree that James Gunn should be fired, but the Lantern shows should keep going. Hell yeah. Appreciate the support, guys. Thanks. Much love. And then we all agree Star Wars is cooked. Hey, look at us just getting along. Look at us getting along, you know, understanding our differences. So cool. Also, pre-sales of Avengers Doomsday are approximately 65% ahead of the first 2-day pre-sales of Spider-Man Brand New Day. I swear to God, everybody that said Marvel was dead needs rounded up. Like, literally, we need to round these people up. You know what I mean? They need put in camps, like slave labor or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. Who were these people? Insanity! All right, everybody. Much love, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you again for your time, for your attention. Thank you for the support. Super chats, members chats. Thanks for the memberships. Really appreciate it. Check out the clips later on, and we'll have a big old edited video for you tomorrow, all about Dr. Doom's black tendril, you know, tentacle porn powers. So that'll be cool. Get on out of here and do me a favor before you do. Actually, make it 2. First off, I'm gonna need you to open up your third eye. And then wash out your stinky butt. Hole. Butthole. It's your butthole. You need to wash it out. Okay, bye.